Good afternoon. It's 3 o'clock. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Tennessee basketball was ranked number 6 in this week's AP poll, dropping one spot after losing to Kentucky and beating Vanderbilt last week. Auburn, Florida, Duke, Alabama, and Houston all rank above the Vols. Tennessee does not have a midweek game this week and will return to action on Saturday against number 7, Texas A&M. Tennessee baseball remains at number 4 in the D1 baseball poll after sweeping Hofstra in the season opening series. Texas A&M, Virginia, and LSU all rank ahead of the Vols. Tennessee is back in action Tuesday night when they host UNC Asheville. In NFL news, the Bengals plan to place the non-exclusive franchise tag on star wide receiver T. Higgins, according to reports. This would be the second offseason in a row that Higgins gets the tag. However, he is a candidate to receive an extension afterwards. The NFL tag window officially opens tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time and lasts until Tuesday, March 4th at 3 p.m. Central Time. For your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. Brett Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Babsy is here, y'all.
What up, Babsy?
What up? Let's go.
I do not see any Tennessee gear on you right now.
I don't either.
I don't own any.
Don't worry, I'll fix it.
I own nothing in that Pantene. What number is that?
Pantone 151C, I
Pantone.
believe.
I always say Pantene.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's the shampoo.
Yeah, it is, so is.
Pantone 151. I do not own any of it. I will pay off my bet.
Don't
I
worry.
just haven't had time to purchase anything in that god-awful shade of
We
orange.
get credit, Zeph.
Can I exchange a Go Vols just for today for not wearing orange?
No. That ain't worth it. No.
Just for today?
No.
I was going to say that that's fair.
No, I want credit for 5 days.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so
I thought,
I
okay,
only
so I
made
didn't
you
know.
do it 4.
That's true.
Well, only
I was
because he
out.
wasn't here.
I was going to say I wasn't here.
Well, then I wasn't here Friday. That's
Okay, so you
that's
get
one day.
This lady.
I mean,
almost
if we
didn't bring
want
it
to
up.
make it equal.
That is correct. I mean, even though I didn't get a point spread. If we wanted to make it equal.
Yeah. The Lady Vols beat them by 30.
Hey, Babs, I'm not keeping score.
I could have had double the point spread. I wasn't going to take that bet without the point spread. You know that.
I'm not keeping score. Who's keeping
Listen,
score?
I mean, if you want to talk about
equal.
equal,
No, the funny part
like
about
Tennessee and Auburn men's basketball are more on an equal playing field than the Lady Vols and Auburn
much closer.
women right now. So
this is true. However,
this is all true.
the funny part about all of that is when the Tennessee-Auburn men's basketball bet went down, Slay asked nothing about a point spread.
Well, that's his fault.
And the minute I brought up the women's game and are y'all going to bet, you immediately went point spread.
Yeah, because I know the Auburn
what
women's
they did.
team is crap right now.
I'm not saying... I'm not saying
That
it
is
wasn't...
sarcasm, too.
I'm not saying it wasn't the correct move. I'm just saying it was funny to me.
Listen, you need to tell your brother Ramon to
I saw.
Is he in there?
Pay up.
get the hell out of the chat with his whole, it was a 30-piece lemon pepper. You need 2 weeks of Vols gear, Babs. That wasn't the bet, savage.
30 piece.
So don't. No. We gave you the spread, Babs. No, there is no we here, savage. You were not included.
He is I and I is him.
That is definitely true.
Y'all are a hot mess.
And that is definitely true, too. And you are as well.
Yes.
I almost didn't bring it up with all the things you've got going on.
Oh, man.
No, you're
I'm
it was
just
coming
glad
up.
Just don't bring it up.
I'm just glad you're here.
It was
Mama's
coming up
here.
anyway, regardless.
By the way, the whole
Yeah, it would've.
no daycare on Friday and Monday.
Oh.
How about
For all
the...
you stay-at-home parents out there, you the real champ.
Can I ask you a question? Like, why do the kids get Valentine's Day? Why do the kids get President's Day? Why do we...
It's a teacher work day.
Why do any of us get President's Day? I mean, we don't, but... I mean, we tell jokes on the radio for a living, so...
I mean, I'm never going to complain about
Some people get
holidays
to work.
off.
Some people have to work. We're in the get to work
That is true.
category. So any of y'all out there working on President's Day, we're sorry. We will do our best to entertain you, and we've got 3 hours
Have fun.
to get that done. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Ramon is all up in there if y'all want to talk to him.
He is excited about Babs.
Slade Dog is here.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
And
I'm in the
sounding better.
Hey, yes.
Are you better?
I'm getting back. I'm doing a lot of sweating.
What does that mean?
I guess
Sweating
sweating
out
it
the
out. Yeah, the toxins.
germs.
and
No, but how
everything.
are you sweating?
I don't know. I guess my body temperature's up. This little microwave of a coat that I got, though, does something, too.
It does look like a microwave.
That's
you look
exactly
like a
what it
TV
is.
dinner from the
Tell me.
80s.
That's exactly. It works, too.
Because it's got like that silver inside that's like shimmering.
They got that lining. They got that lining in it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I took up there to when we got spanked up by Ohio State. And I stayed warm the entire time. So,
Well, there's that.
yes.
The executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
What up, Zephyr?
Happy born day to General Neeland.
Oh.
He would have been 133 today.
Ah, he was almost there.
Yeah. He was born in 1892.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to make it to 133? Like they come up with some kind of
If I'm functioning, I'll
advancement?
take it as long as I can go. Depending how wild I get down here too, though. I may be ready to go.
What do you mean? What do you mean how wild it
On
gets?
Earth, it's wild down here on Earth. Let me go and get to the pearly gates, man. I'll see y'all later. Y'all let me know when y'all hit it up. 'Cause I'm out of here. That's right, though.
I mean,
That's right.
you could have fun at the old folks' home. Who knows?
Yeah, but if I'm not functioning, nah, if I just got laid out, no, I'm cool. Get me on out of here.
I feel like I'm going to have fun at the old folks' home. I'm just going to hook up my Xbox 17 or whatever it is and
We'll be quite a number.
roll.
Yeah.
Pudding day will be great.
Oh,
They have ice cream whenever you want it there.
ooh,
I've been searching all of them.
that probably wouldn't work for my little sister.
My grandparents lived in one. It was phenomenal. I'd go over there for lunch all the time. It was great.
Ooh,
It was like a 5-star restaurant.
bring me lunch though.
Oh,
My
to your room?
in-laws are not happy.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
Nah,
They don't
people
want to
don't
have
like going
anything to do
in
with it. I'm like, you get 3 meals a day.
3 squares and a cot.
Everything's planned for you. You can go on shopping
I'm saying.
trips. You can get your nails done. You get
Yeah.
your hair done.
I mean,
It ain't quite prison.
I was thinking that same thing, Slay. I just didn't say it.
If you're in the AL part of it, then you can leave when you want. You can still drive.
You're accessible. No,
You don't have to
question.
take care of a lawn. You don't have to clean the house.
Yeah, it's just
You
so
get
you
your
can
laundry done
have
for
24-hour
you.
monitoring more so than anything.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a party to me. They have alcohol. Seriously.
Just let
one
them
of-
be fried. Huh,
One of the
Babs?
homes I visited, they had to start locking up the alcohol outside of happy
What?
hours because the residents were stealing it.
See, they ain't want no roof in there. I like that.
wouldn't you?
Now, that's the one I'm going to have to go to. After 11 o'clock when everybody go to sleep and have their little medicines, y'all can slide right by the sleigh room. It's a party in there.
Here's where you wanna come for the hangout.
This is guaranteed. We're going all the way to 2 in the
Open
morning.
the fridge. It's all in there.
Yeah, that's after hours.
Like back in the day, you wouldn't have to stop the bus.
Nah, we got it in here.
Go on back there.
Yeah. Leave all your walkers down in your room, though. I don't know how you're making it down. Walkers and wheelchairs, do not leave them outside my room. You're going to run us hot. Yeah.
Don't get us caught.
Don't get us caught, dog.
Listen, we've got it all figured out.
Jack the Ripper or Jack Ripper in our chat.
Jack-
Sorry, not Jack the Ripper. Oh boy.
Jack the They actually found out who Jack the Ripper is. Did you see
Isn't
that
that
story?
crazy from DNA?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was like his grandniece turned it over.
Bizarre.
We got him. I mean, he's been dead for
He's been dead for a long time.
100
Oh,
years
that's
or whatever. But
No, he's in the chat.
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, that Jack Ripper said, "What are y'all talking about? WTF?" Hey. Hell, it's 3HL.
Yeah, there you go. That's,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's the
that's
motto, Jack.
So Jordan Ronan, is that how you pronounce that guy's name? Covers the New York Giants. He asked the question, would you
Hold on.
trade?
Jack also said, "Talk about football or I'm out of here." Well, then get the hell out of here if you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
like it.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a door.
listen, Jack, we're going to do our show.
Carry on.
Yeah, the door you came in is the same door, I promise. It opens back up. Where
Don't
you
let
leave
it hit
on.
you on the way out.
That's it.
We're going to do
Sorry,
our
I'm
show.
pissy today.
I like it.
That's great.
I like it.
I love it. I love pissy Babs.
Depends. They have
Here's the
depends.
thing. Like, if you're new to the show, we're going to do the show, how we do the show. And it's going to be wandering. And I always say it's like, you go rafting
We
in the
always
Ocoee
get back
River.
to sports.
Yeah, it's like you go rafting in the Ocoee River and like you try to steer, but you really can't. The current in the water takes you where you're going to go. And
this our
you know where
rafting
the
song?
finish line is. We'll get there.
What the hell? 3 a.m.
He sent us the raw version.
He gets us. He also layered his vocals and sent us a new one.
I like that.
Oh, it sounds amazing.
That's how you deliver.
Zeph has another one too, with a new verse.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear that one.
So anyway, as Bab said, we get there.
Sorry, I was trying to do something. I didn't
Stuff's
mean to do that.
partying in there.
What the hell?
Yeah.
3HL.
That's bingo.
I went to go right click and I left clicked.
Okay.
Zeph's on it.
Candy B 91. People have to plan when they are young for when they are older. Start your long-term care planning and saving early.
That is very true.
Super true.
We are 2 of 3 of us are living it right now.
Absolutely.
So. Absolutely.
Well, I already went through it. And
You can head back. Yeah, you dealt with it a little while ago too. So
as a younger person, it was
aging
tougher.
sucks
Yeah.
for all of us.
When you have to tell your grandmother she's going to and you guys know, you have to tell her she's going to the nursing home or assisted living. Assisted living is what it was.
I try to say rehab center. That sounds work.
That sounds a little better.
That's what they told me. And it kind of worked.
Yeah. That was a hard conversation, especially with my mom sitting right next to me, and I'm the one delivering the message. Anyway,
Listen.
thanks, Mom.
Hey, sometimes that's what has to happen.
Yeah, Mom's next.
Jeez. Sorry, Mama Doherty.
I hope you're not listening.
She doesn't listen.
Oh, okay, good.
And she knows I love her. And these are
She
just
does,
jokes.
yeah.
All right. Again, you can watch the show live YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Yeah, I'm interested in this. So, this popped up this morning all over Titan World. Jordan Rannon covers the New York Giants. He asked the question, would you trade the number 3 overall pick for number 1 while also giving up a third-round pick this year and a third-round pick next year? And so RK Dub turned it around, obviously, and localized it and put a poll out. And, Zeph, I'm interested, if we put a poll out, do you think the numbers would be different with people waking up in the morning to that or people that have been through their day and now have maybe a different perspective? Do you think the numbers would be similar or different? I think we should put the poll out there and see, because it was
question.
82% of Titans fans were like, no way. Which I'm like, no way.
Yeah, I'm going to be there on no way, too. Yeah, no, we need a little bit more. For that number 1 pick, you want that number 1 pick.
So would y'all do it? 615-737-1045. Trade down to 3, pick up a third round this year and a third round next year.
And a reminder, the Titans do not have a third rounder this year as of right now.
3 fourth-round picks. No third-round picks. Would y'all do it? 615-737-1045. I also looked at the Jimmy Johnson trade chart to see where where it would fall if you went from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Also, I pulled the last 2 overall number 1s that were traded. One was for a 3, I think, and then the other was for a 9, which that's another rumor is that the Titans are that the Raiders want it and they picked 9th.
You said it was traded for a 3 and a 9?
Saint. No.
Oh, okay.
There were 2 different. The last 2 overall number 1 trades.
One was a 3rd, one was a 9. Okay.
And one was for
I was
a
saying,
9.
hell yeah, we can get that. Let's do
The
it.
Saints have a 9, and they're rumored to be wanting to move up. So we'll take a look at all of that. And yes, Jack the Ripper, we will talk football. 615-737-1045.
All right, homeowners, do you want a fresh start now that it's 2025? Loan Pronto is who you need to call to help you do that. Take control of your finances, lower your house payment, consolidate nagging debt. They can do it all. And did you know 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? I know when we refinanced our home with Loan Pronto, got cash out for a project, a house project, it was a way better deal than what we could do elsewhere. So check it out. Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers right now for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans starting in the low fives. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're already in process with another lender, you can easily call Loan Pronto and find out what they can do for you. Lock in your lower rate. Could even skip your next 2 house payments too. Fast, easy, hassle-free, personalized Loan Pronto rate quote you can get instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. LoanPronto.com is the website, 615-499-5780. That's LoanPronto.com at 499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
3HL 1045, The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. The poll that Ramon, Kayla, and Will put out this morning, Titans fans, would you take this trade at Jordan Rannon proposed from the Giants? Titans received number 3, number 65, which is third round this year, third round next year. Giants received the overall number 1. Their poll, 82% said no. So we just put it out. And this isn't, their listener group, compared with our listener group, whatever. We get that a lot of y'all listen to the Zone all day long. I'm just curious from a day part perspective. Like when you start your day and you see that, what do you think as opposed to you've been through your day and you see that? And let's see if it aligns. Just a little scientific method here. Not really, but if you want to watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please. And I put the link to the poll in the chat. So F&M Big Chat. If you don't want to go search it, all you got to do is just click that link I just sent.
So they were 82% no. What do you think? Do you think it'll be similar with ours?
I would think so. Probably, maybe. I'm going to say a little bit higher.
It's currently 81%.
Oh, so it's lower right now. Oh, wow.
1% though.
Yeah. I'm going to say it ends up higher because I think that trade is ridiculous. It's not enough for offering up a chance at your franchise quarterback. 2/3 and a pick swap is not enough.
So the Jimmy Johnson trade chart. By the way, you can get in 615-737-1045. Before I get into the Jimmy Johnson trade chart and show you where that might align, because they say they don't use that chart, but when you talk around the league with people, you hear that they actually, in more cases than not, they still use that chart. Now, there are a couple of differing things. When Jimmy Johnson came up with this chart, there were not conditional picks. So there are conditional picks now that would have to be adjusted. The other is that teams may value future picks differently than others. That's the other thing. So if you start looking for future number 1, like the overall number 1 in Jimmy Johnson's chart is worth 3,000 points. And I'll give you some kind of parameters in a little bit. But does the overall number 1, if you trade for the 2026 overall number 1, is it worth 3,000 points? Probably not, right? So that's kind of where the negotiation begins. Dwayne in Old Hickory next up on 3HL. Dwayne, what's up? How are you?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Man, love the show.
So would you move down to 3 and take 2 third-round picks?
No, according to the chart, it looks like we should get a first, second, and a third for the pick, and we should give up the number 1 and our first pick in the 5th round, and it looks like the points would equal out.
Yeah, it would. First, to move down to 3, you get the Giants number 3 overall, then you get a second and a third. That's what the chart says.
And my question would be, if they give us their first and third this year, and we give them a first and 5th, is their second pick, is that going to be next year? Because you never know where they're going to draft next year. So,
right. My guess is high, but but you're right. You never know, and that's part of the problem with using this chart is when you go into additional years. Thank you, Dwayne. Now he's right. Based on the points, it's first. You move down, pick up their first pick, which is 3rd overall. You pick up a second and a third, not a third and a third.
Right.
So would you do it for that? I still wouldn't, personally.
That number 1 pick has a lot of value, regardless of whoever is out there, quarterbacks, whatever it is.
If they're moving up to number 1,
number 1, you want something.
If they're moving up to number 1 overall, they're getting a quarterback.
And go get it.
Right?
That's
so if
what
the Titans don't want a quarterback, it really doesn't set you.
Right.
Because Cleveland wants a quarterback too.
Yeah.
If you were going to take Abdul Carter number 1, you still probably get him at number 3, and you pick up a second and a third round pick, according to Jimmy Johnson's chart.
Yep. Listen,
I'd be more intrigued by that, but I still wouldn't do it.
You pay for what you want.
2/3 isn't enough.
No.
How bad do you want that quarterback?
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So
because maybe if I'm the Titans, maybe I'll take that quarterback.
Yeah, maybe I won't.
So, and this is what Dwayne said, and he's right. This is the Jimmy Johnson trade chart. It's not moving down and picking up the number 3 overall in 2/3. It's moving down, picking up the number 3 overall and a second round pick and a third round pick. That's what the chart says. I still wouldn't do it.
I'm with you.
Would you?
A second makes it better.
Yeah.
It helps.
But I absolutely wouldn't do it for two third-round picks.
I mean, the argument to do it would be theoretically the Titans still get what they want if that's what they want, if they don't want a quarterback. And if they don't want a quarterback, that's why they're moving down, right? Like, if they want a quarterback, they're sticking picks.
Exactly. Well, and then
theoretically,
and then all of a sudden, can you do Mr. Babs thing where, okay, now you're at three. Now can you trade back again and get more capital, you know?
That's the question.
I'm on record, and I'm still on record as saying, get you a quarterback with that first pick.
If you trade down to 6, according to this chart, Raiders, right? Raiders are mentioned as one of the teams that might want to come up. If you trade down to 6, you would take the number 6 overall pick, and you would get their first round next year.
See, that's huge. That's a big difference.
It is.
Once you're out of that top 5, you're out of the quarterback market.
Different combo.
Yep.
Agreed. You're not looking for that. You're not trying to go. You're not banking on getting that franchise guy.
Yeah.
Some have mentioned trading down to 9 with the Saints. At that point, you grab the best offensive tackle that's still there. You pick up 1,650 points on the chart, which gives you the Saints number 9 this year, the Saints number 1 next year, number 3 this year, and number 4 this year.
How accurate is that chart, Mayor?
That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of the league,
It's fluid.
this is what you'll hear between now and the draft is that the league people say they don't use it anymore. But, like, Coach Mack has said, yeah, some people still use it.
Right.
And if you talk to people around the league, more people use it than say they do. Does that make sense?
Yep.
The problem comes in conditional picks. When the chart was made, they didn't have conditional picks. So now you have conditional picks. So what does that mean? And then moving forward beyond this year, there's no real point system. Like, everybody kind of makes up their own from that point. The way I understand it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But that's what I found. 615-737-1045. Eric in Franklin. Eric, what's up?
How you doing today?
Yo, what up, Eric?
All right. So I've heard a lot of those things. Start with, what was the very first thing you said? What would we trade for?
I mean, the Giants writer came out with this morning where he said he was asking Giants fans if they would do it. The Giants, so the Titans in the Titan scenario would move down to 3 and pick up 2 third-round picks, 1 this year, 1 next year.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going from a third to a third.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to go. If I'm going to third, I'm gonna want your next year's first and probably a second. I'm not going from third to third. No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well say. Then you might as well say, hey, why don't we just give it away and take nothing?
Yeah. You
If
just
you wanna
went
do
Hall
that.
and Oates. No, I can't do that. And you went Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. I like that.
Give it away now. There you go.
I love it, man. Thank you.
You got it.
615-737-1045. So Ramon Kayla Wills poll this morning listeners said 82% no, they would not do it. We are currently at 84%.
Yeah. I think the more and more you
stronger.
think about it, you're like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
I mean, my initial reaction
Why
was
we
hell
getting
no.
over? Yeah, well, people getting over
You
us
did.
all the time.
I'll admit this. Like, there's nothing to admit, but Zeph put
Don't
it
admit it, y'all.
Zeph put it in the chat this morning. I mean, within seconds, Davenport was like, no.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's
Now,
silly.
if I'm the Giants, if I'm a Giants fan or I'm the Giants, I'm like, oh, heck yeah, let's go. You don't even have to ask me twice.
Yeah.
But what's
Benefits
funny
you the
is,
most.
I forget which of the Titans bloggers pointed this out, but they said the funny thing is, in that guy's comments, the amount of Giants fans that said no. Because he was like, Easton
What are
Freeze,
they
maybe.
doing?
He was like, what are y'all what are y'all doing?
Yeah, what
of course
do you
you
mean
do
y'all
that.
don't? Why wouldn't y'all want to do
That would be a no-brainer. If there's a quarterback you feel is the quarterback, you know?
You think they don't have? I mean, we don't have a choice, but they don't have a choice.
mean, they're
at
a
all.
disaster.
Yeah, they need it. They can't go.
So
They
did the
can't go.
Titans.
They got
So did the Titans.
Yeah,
The Giants and the Browns are
yeah, but that media market, let them go get it wrong. You can maybe be able to last down here and fly under the radar. I mean, your life going. I mean,
I
not
feel
your life,
like-
but your job's gonna maybe be on jeopardy. But you'll
I
be
feel
all
like
right.
nowadays,
You'll be all right.
like,
With the number one pick, you
Callahan's
saying that comes
job
with
is
it,
in
yeah,
jeopardy, yeah.
That's a lot.
the more and more I look at these stopgap quarterbacks or bridge quarterbacks or whatever, and what they're going to
Cost.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why? Why you're going to pay that for a mediocre quarterback just to get you to 7 and 8, whatever? I mean, I
Yeah.
if there's a quarterback that in this draft that you remotely think can be the guy, I think you go for it.
You have to. You have to.
So is that Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders?
So it was interesting if you guys listened to
Most
Zach
likely.
and Stoney.
Which one is most likely that guy?
I still say Cam Ward, but I've been bullish on Cam Ward from the get-go.
Yeah, you
For
saw
numerous.
him.
I saw him, I
your whole
talked to
eyes,
him, right? And for numerous other reasons too. Like for me, and this might not be fair, but it is what it is. You just had a Will Levis debacle that included commercial and, mayonnaise and everybody's all up in arms. Oh, maybe you should have been just focusing on football. And for what it's worth, I think Shedeur Sanders is all about ball. But there's a lot that comes with his fame and his life outside of football. And good for him. He should capitalize on that. I understand that. But if you look at Cam Ward, he really is all ball. I mean, he didn't want to come to the Super Bowl radio row.
that.
He didn't want
I
to
love
do
all
any
that.
of that. Shedeur is walking around with a 30-person entourage. And I get it because this is how he grew up. Like, look who his dad is on top of it, And I am all about these NFL guys capitalizing on their fame.
Yeah,
and,
I don't fault
and
him
doing
for that.
I don't fault him at all. But I also look at it
promote
and
yourself.
if I am a franchise like the Titans that have been in the position that they've been in when it comes to quarterbacks, I want a guy that's all ball. I want a guy that that's really all he cares about.
Yeah.
And so that he's going to be focused on learning the offense and wanting to succeed. And I'm not saying Shedeur's not.
Right.
I'm just saying it's inevitable that there is a lot more that comes with Shedeur's life than Cam Ward. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I think it's perspective. I think I would come from it with, in this generation of athlete, this is what they grew up in. You know what I'm saying? So I think
it's a different world.
It's a different world. Like me coming up, our era coming up, like that, you really can't. Those are distractions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's getting sidetracked from what your main goal is.
It's not like that nowadays.
It's not. They're coming up.
Right.
That's a part of them coming up. You know what I mean? The branding,
and they're used to it
all of
because
that.
they've been doing it. That's how it's been since they were 9 years old.
You have time allotted for that, which makes it a natural thing for you to grow up. Like, imagine us. Our thing was, all right, you go to school, you come out, you go play in the yard, or you go play at the park. You know what I mean? You come in, get ready for school tomorrow. Theirs is, okay, I wake up, I go work out. I get ready for school, I go work out. And during school, then I go to practice. Then I come home, I probably go get therapy. Then, you know what I mean, I go do whatever it is.
An autograph
I vlog,
signing
or
or
you know what I'm
something.
saying? This is, and we talking about not just college, we talking about high school. This is how they born and bred. And I think the cusp of this was actually LeVar Ball and them.
Yeah.
The Ball family. You know what I'm saying?
It.
Like they came, and it had been going on, especially out there on the West Coast, but down south with it reaching here and being mainstream like that, everybody was scratching their head. I was too, like, man, what the hell is this dude doing? But that's their way of life. So I can't fault him for that. Or,
I don't fault him.
Yeah, not fault him. Or I'm gonna give him a check and not give the other the check.
I
just
can't do
because.
that.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying.
That's where me and you are different.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, with all that being said, Cam Ward has never been that guy. And,
Right.
and part of that is probably because of his
He
past.
he didn't have time to do that. His was all. I don't have time to be
Because nobody
vlogging.
believed in him.
Bingo.
You know?
You was too forced on and hell bent on.
Right.
Man, I got to get my name on the list.
Right.
They were born with the name on the list.
Yes.
So it's too. I'm with you. I get exactly where
And
you're coming
that's
from.
why it might not be fair for me to say that. But what did I send you guys in the chat? I sent something that Shedeur is doing. What was it? Like $1 million something? I don't know. I forget what it was.
It was
Do
a
you
video.
remember? It was a video.
that
or
he
something.
came out with,
It's his music.
His music video. He just dropped a new
music.
song. Yep.
Just dropped a new song. And I said, would this bother you guys? None of y'all responded to me, by the way. I think it was at like 3 in the morning.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I was
what you're
randomly
talking
awake sending
my
you
head
guys
was hurting
stuff.
at that moment.
I think that's when you were sick. You remember it
Yeah,
though.
I
We
do
dropped
remember.
a new song, and I'm like, okay, would this bother you if you're a team looking to draft him?
Mm-hmm.
And it would me. And in the chat, they retired as whatever said, but you're penalizing him for it. True,
Yeah.
I am.
about. I mean,
But that's
Isaiah Wilson dropped a song too.
so it's
An EP.
Guess what though? But
Can
that's
we not talk about that debacle of a
long
pick?
snort too. That's
I mean,
the thing.
it
though.
happened. It's a thing.
These two are not like each other.
Yeah, Gigi
These two
Bowser is
are
a
not
real
in the
thing.
same.
Yep.
But that's where you have to go in and say, I need. This is why players take on the mindset of I need one to like me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
'Cause,
true.
Yeah,
That's
you're
all you
one of
need.
the 32 that's not. You know what I'm saying? And you looking for something else. Denver probably looking for something else. San Fran probably looking for something else. Las Vegas may be like, this is how we function.
Mm-hmm.
Come on in here. New
Right.
York, you know what I'm saying? Like New Orleans could be the same way. Miami, like you think about these cultural cities, you know what I'm saying, that it feeds into that entertainment-wise. And you're like, well, shoot, that's kind of how we operate.
Some markets are different than
Yeah,
others.
we operate like
Yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah,
that's completely
So,
true.
I mean, it is. It's
I feel you.
whoever floats, whoever votes.
Justin Brinkley said Cam brings 19 different colleges because he wasn't good enough. He also was in the weak ACC and couldn't win. I disagree with that. He had 0 offers out of high school because he ran a wing T offense. Nobody believed.
He threw the ball at most 10 times a game.
Yep. So that's why he had no offers. That's why he wasn't on anybody's radar. The North Texas coach randomly gave him a chance at Incarnate Word because he saw him play in Texas and was like, I'm telling you, there's something special
That's going to
about
get
him.
it.
Sure enough, there was something special about him. Followed his coach to Washington State and then left there, ended up at Miami. And the story that Mario talks about, like, on getting Cam and getting him to sign. I mean, it was like they fought so hard to get him. And I think, there were some things lacking with that Miami team, which you saw in that last game against Syracuse, defensively,
Dude,
where they struggled.
That's a
where his
7-5 team
playmakers-
without Cam Ward.
Exactly. Where his
at
playmakers.
best.
I remember Restrepo telling me, he was like, because I said, this was like during
The
the
receiver
Heisman
from
conversation.
Miami.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'm a Heisman voter. Why? Tell me why I should vote for your quarterback. And he was like, are you kidding me? That's not even a question. He said, look at every single place Cam Ward went. He made them better.
See, that's
He
what I
made
would
them
argue.
able to win games
That's huge.
despite the roster.
That's huge. That's huge.
So I would argue that this guy has pulled his bootstraps up and has made it
Right.
at every stop and has built himself along the way. And I don't believe in self-made man, but like people would call that self-made man.
Right.
But the reason why I don't believe in self-made man is we all need people around us to help us get where we need to go.
And he's had that too.
And he's had that, but he's
great
taken advantage
parents
of
that have really supported him. And
But I think that shows the competitive character within him because a lot of people would have, okay, I'm quarterback in Incarnate Word. All right, this will be my life, and I'll go
Right.
do something else.
yep.
But
And
he uses that to get to Washington State. He uses Washington State to get to Miami. He uses Miami to get to the number 1 overall pick potentially. There you go.
I think you can look at it too on the flip side of that, the same way you look at it with Arch and Shador too. Like they could be easily been like, I'm gonna rest on my laurels. I know I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna slide and glide on in here. My talent to carry me over. In a sense, what we saw with Johnny Manziel. You know what I'm saying? Like Johnny's talent carried him right into the lead. I mean, it wasn't studying or. He said it. You
Well
know what I mean?
documented,
Yeah, this ain't us guessing about it. So I like for each. This is dumb. I was gonna say each apple is an apple, but
Sudafed's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm on it today.
So
I got 3
this
on me
was-
today.
oh, Lord have mercy.
This
I'm in here.
was, oh, geez.
Remember that
I
time
pulled up-
Babs was out when you were Sudafed's lay?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Friday.
So,
Yeah, that was
Well,
Friday.
we were all
and I
active in
heard all about
We
it.
were all over the joint on that day.
somebody put a quote out on Twitter.
I just pulled up some of my notes from that game talking about Cam Ward.
Yeah.
This is what I wrote. Cam Ward's teammates can't even describe his mentality. Every single one I talked talked to talked about obsessed with winning at everything, throwing trash into the can in the locker room, would fight guys to win those battles, contagious to be around. Here's a quote from Restrepo. Men lie, women lie, numbers never lie. Look at those and tell me Cam Ward didn't turn this entire program around when he got here.
Yeah, and this is the thing that happens. Like when you talk up one guy, everybody takes it like
That
you're
you do-
talking
yeah.
down the other guy,
Yeah.
which is not
I'm not talking
true.
down.
Yeah, not
just
at all.
Shedeur.
Not at all.
Listen to what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Shedeur Sanders right now. We're talking about Cam Ward.
Yeah, and what allows you to say I would make that pick? We're talking about the makeup of the player.
Right.
So another person that had the character makeup of everything you just described was Malik Willis.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember after the combine when he was giving that, like we looked at his background,
Everybody
like, oh my
loved him.
gosh, like
Yeah.
this dude is
Well,
Like, dude
Shedeur
works his butt off.
exactly.
Shedeur went from HBCU to
Yep.
Colorado program that sucked.
and turned it
And turned it around.
Yeah.
No
615-737-1045. Also coming up, Matt Johnson of sportsnot.com outlined one free agent for each NFL team. For the Titans, he listed, we'll tell you in a little bit. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? This is the time. BrentwoodJewelry.com is where you need to head over to. I know Valentine's Day just passed, and you probably sitting there thinking like, oh, man, I'll wait on the next event or next holiday, and I'll go get something. That's not the way this works, people. Go in there. It's always exceptional deals. They got style as well. It's been every day for over 50 years. You don't need a holiday to go in there and get what you want or to surprise somebody that you love. For over 50 years, Brentwood Jewelry has been bringing this, proudly serving Brentwood community with exceptional style and deals every single day. Family-owned and operated business spanning 3 generations. So whether you're looking for that engagement, watches, whatever it may be, like repairs, they can also do that. You want to get in there and get that nice watch, a pre-owned Rolex that you think is, yes, top-notch, because it is, and it's coming from Brentwood Jewelry, well, that's the place you need to go to. Brentwood Jewelry carries Hamilton watch line. Hamilton watches are innovative, iconic, and known for American spirit and Swiss precision. They offer a wide range of chronograph, automatic, classic men's and women's watches, so not just for one. Get anything you need. 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road, BrentwoodJewelry.com.
3HL 1045, The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Again, Giants writer put out there today. It's been talked about all day here in this market. Jordan Rannon covers the New York Giants. He asked the question, would you trade the number 3 overall pick? Well, from a Titans perspective, would you go down to 3 and pick up 2 third-round picks to do it? That's kind of been the discussion today. Ramon Kayla Will put out a poll this morning. 82% said no. We did it just to compare like morning guy and afternoon guy and gal. Yep. And what is it now?
89% no.
Damn, people getting stronger and stronger.
89%?
89.
Wow.
Yeah, settling in, y'all.
Also, settling in.
I
like, nope.
Last segment, I did a little bit of research trying to look up like what the hit rates are on third round picks, because if you're going to get a third round pick, you'd expect over the last like 5 or so years, they've been between. It depends on who you're looking at and what they clarify as a hit, but it's been between about 15 and 20% as a hit rate for third round draft picks over the last 5 years.
Okay.
So is giving up number 1 in a potential franchise quarterback good enough for a 20% hit rate on a third round pick?
615-737-1045. Yeah, 89%. We'll get into college basketball, college baseball over the weekend, opening weekend. Tennessee outscored, who did they play? Wofford? High Point?
Baseball?
Yeah.
High Point. No, Hofstra.
Hofstra. I even watched like some or all three games.
You almost had me I'm like, wait a minute now.
What was the combined score, Zeph? Do you know?
I do not, but I know that they had the largest score differential among all top 25 teams.
Zeph would know that.
I was just going to say, boy, hey, man, listen. I know. Hey, boy, Zeph is on it. Zeph is on it. I love my balls. Zeph, you.
Seriously, what was it? Like 45 to 2, something like that?
It was something big like that.
Vandy, how did Vandy do this weekend?
I actually don't know. I don't follow the Vandy boys.
What?
I'm a Tennessee baseball fan, not a Vanderbilt baseball fan.
Love it, Zeph.
I was watching
those two things, please.
Yeah, I will.
The Vandy boys played Nebraska. Was it Nebraska? I think. Did you see
on Saturday? Yeah.
The player that took 104 mile per hour ball to the face?
No.
Y'all.
No. Is he okay?
He's okay. He's kind of a hard ass. I mean, like
90 miles to the
came
face.
off the
104.
field.
104.
Yeah. I mean, Google it. It's hard to look at, but
they went 2-1.
He's okay. Yeah.
Vandy went 2-1.
They lost to Nebraska, 6-4.
Okay.
Is this? I need to look into.
Nebraska was
Yeah,
also
he's a pitcher.
Okay.
Nebraska was also ranked. They were a top 25 team.
Okay.
Number
Doesn't
24.
it feel weird that we're talking about baseball in
This came so
February?
fast.
Every February, I'm like, how?
just
It's
kinda
going to snow here in 2 days.
Theoretically, winter storm watch in effect. They say a winter storm warning will be issued for Davidson County, so we'll see. We told y'all about this like 9 days ago. Although at that point they were talking about 20 inches. Now it's like they're actually scared to put a number on this. I did see Nashville Severe Weather put 2 to 4 yesterday inches of snow, but like locally TV wise, they haven't really gone there yet.
This is gonna be silly. Silly day.
Tennessee baseball outscored Hofstra 46-2. All 3 games went 7 innings.
I mean, I was close. 45-2 is what I said.
And what did you say it was, Zeph? 70?
What?
What did you say? How much they beat them by?
46-2.
Where'd I get 70 from?
7 innings. All 3 games went
All
7.
3 games went 7 innings, so
That's
they
where you
didn't
got
even
the 7.
play.
Thank you, Yor.
Yep. The D1 Men's Basketball Committee revealed its top 16 seeds 1 month before Selection Sunday. We've got that for you coming up. Also, everything that happened over the weekend. I happened to turn on the LSU game late, and I saw, what's that guy's name? Cam Carter?
Cooker, man.
Scored 7 points in a row. They were down by...
Was it double digits?
They were down by 5 with 30 seconds left. He had a 3 and got fouled.
They walked it down, yeah.
Then they got a turnover, got it to Carter. He went to the lane, layup, scored, and then got the ball back and fouled.
Yeah.
And so he
And one
made
three-point.
another free throw. He went on a personal 7-0 run in the last 30 seconds of the game.
And a 9-0 run early in the game.
And then he did the interview after, and he looked everybody in the eye, and he was
Super
like, yes,
humble
sir.
guy.
Yes, sir.
Super, Oak
yes,
Hill
sir.
Academy kid, man.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
you go.
man. Very, very humble kid, dude. Like, some humble beginnings, gives back to the community like crazy down there in Louisiana. So good. That's a feel good story right there, man.
We've also got. I actually watched 2 hockey games this weekend.
Really?
USA?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you talking about battling and pride?
Team USA in Canada. 4.4 million people watched that game. It's the highest rated hockey game, non-Stanley Cup final since 2019.
That was all right.
They got into 3 fights before a minute passed in the game.
Let's get it on. They booed.
The puck drop. They dropped the pucks, and the gloves were on the ice before the puck was.
That's how you get it on. I mean, we ain't come to play, though.
Team USA is in the final for the Four Nations face-off. It's going to be Thursday night in Boston. That's going to be incredible. They'll probably play Canada again, would be my guess. But Team USA plays Sweden in Boston tonight. That game does not matter. But
Start off with a fight again.
Connor Hellebuck is the goaltender for Team USA. He's the best in the world. So
It works.
I mean, Canada had McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Marchand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had a roster. Mm-hmm. And Hellebuck just stoned them, as they say. Lady Vols move up from 19 to 15. We'll talk about them. 615-737-1045. Hitting this trade deal. The Giants, Jordan Rannon covers the Giants, asked the question, from a Titan perspective, he came at it from a Giant perspective, but from a Titan perspective, would you move down from 1 to 3 and pick up 2 third-round picks? And that's the deal. 615-737-1045. Most of y'all saying no. Roy in Nashville. Roy, what's up?
So what's up, guys? So I'd be like Jerry Maguire here and say, show me the money. I mean, if the Giants are wanting to do that, they're sitting at the bottom of the division. You got the Commanders with their guy, the Eagles with their guy, the Cowboys, well, they're the Cowboys, whatever. No, it's going to have to be more. They're going to have to sweeten the pot. It's going to have to be this year and not third round. Maybe a second, maybe some other crazy stuff. But I think there's way too many teams, even quarterbacks, that are sitting back there behind them that could jump up there. I don't know, guys. I just think that's kind of a raw deal for us. Tighten up, guys.
Thank you, Roy. Appreciate it. Yeah, the Jimmy Johnson chart for the Titans to move down to 3, they would pick up the Giants' second and third round picks this year, according to that chart.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, as we talked about, it's questionable whether teams still use that chart, but that is kind of what is out there. Only I found the last 2. The Bears moved down to number 9 in 2023. So they moved down from overall number 1 to number 9. So that would be like the Titans moving down to 9 with the Saints, which has actually been talked about in the media. The Bears got DJ Moore, wide receiver. They got a first-round pick in 2024, which was the following year. So they moved down to 9, pick up a first round the next year. They get a second round in 2024, which was the next year, and then a second round the next year, 2 years out. So that is way more of a haul than the chart suggests, and certainly what that Giants guy suggests.
Sound way better right there.
So not just a player.
If you need a quarterback,
Yeah.
you have to move up.
So they moved from 1 to 9. They picked up. So they picked at 9, but they also picked up not just a player, a productive player in DJ Moore, a first rounder the next year, a second rounder the next year, and then a second rounder 2 years out. Yeah. That's way more of a haul. The Titans traded the number 1 overall pick once
to
the Rams when Coach Mack and Jeff Fisher were there.
Oh, yeah.
And the
For golf.
Rams took Jared Goff. So
Coach Mack and them swindled us into that.
Titans traded down to number 16. This is interesting. They traded down to number 16, which they eventually traded away anyway. But they picked up 2 second-round picks, which they used for Austin Johnson, defensive lineman, and Derrick Henry, running back. They also picked up a 2017, so the next year, first-round pick where they took Corey Davis, wide receiver.
Who was GM in there?
It was in that Mike Reinfeld.
Okay. Rotating door.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was Reinfeldt.
Not bad.
They also picked up a 2017 third-round pick, which they used on Jonnu Smith. So they got Austin Johnson, Derrick Henry, Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith. And then they gave the Rams the number 1 overall pick, which they used on Jared Goff, also a fourth-rounder that year and a third-rounder the next year. There was a lot going on with that deal.
Heck of a lot.
615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. We have 2 lines open if you want in. Mike Darrington, Gregory Annan coming up next. 3HL1045 The Zone. Want to tell you about my friends at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. DickensSupply.com is the website. Trey Hartsook is here as we go through fluctuating temperatures. You know the spring and the summer is coming. You need to get prepared. And Trey Hartsook from Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply is here to help you out. Trey, what's up?
Hey, Brett, what's going on, man? Hey, I'll tell you, it's really tough sometimes to get on here and talk about spring activities with a day like today, but that's all right. We know that those days are coming, and I'll tell you the thing about turf care is it's so important to be proactive other than reactive. So let's make sure if you're somebody that overseeded in the fall and it's looking kind of good or maybe it's not looking so good, pre-emergent application does a ton for the lawn, helps keep weeds out going into the summer, and also the fertilization aspect of it is such a big deal because we know that cold weather can really pull that temperature out of that fescue grass. So let's make sure if you haven't came into Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply and got your pre-emergent yet, let's make sure we're doing that in the next couple of weeks. Also, Brent, that time of the year where we're going to start pulling these mowers out, want to make sure that we have something dependable. And Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply is the best place to look if you want to upgrade. Stop in and see us. We'd love to talk to you about it. We're conveniently located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lamar, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of it, check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
Did you know you're overpaying for your health and wellness products?
With over 20 company-owned brands offering its members vitamins, supplements, wellness, and skincare products, you're able to save up to 70% off retail.
Members Nutrition can't change your life, but we can change the way you live.
Good afternoon. It's 4:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Tennessee basketball ranked number 6 in this week's AP poll earlier today, dropping 1 spot after losing to Kentucky and beating Vanderbilt last week. Auburn, Florida, Duke, Alabama, and Houston all rank above the Vols. Tennessee does not have a midweek game this week and will return to action on Saturday against number 7 Texas A&M. Tennessee baseball remains at number 4 in the D1 baseball poll after sweeping Hofstra in the season opening series. Texas A&M, Virginia, and LSU all rank ahead of the Vols. Tennessee will be back in action on Tuesday when they host UNC Asheville. In NFL news, the Bengals plan to place the non-exclusive franchise tag on star wide receiver T. Higgins, according to several reports. This would be the second offseason in a row that Higgins gets the franchise tag. However, he is a candidate to receive an extension afterwards. The NFL tag window officially opens tomorrow, February 18th at 3 p.m. and lasts until Tuesday, March 4th at 3 p.m. For all your foundation repair waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Monday. It is President's Day out there. If you have the day off, congrats. Hope you got something done fun. If you had to work, sorry. We'll do our best to make the next couple hours entertaining for you. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
There she is. She's Dawn Davenport.
What up, people?
That's Buck. That's Buck. Twitch, please.
Let's go.
Twitch, please. Twitch, please.
615-737-1045. We got one line open. A lot of people wanting to talk about the Giants reporter who asked the question, would you move down from 1 to 3?
Let's talk about it.
And in return, you get 2 third-round picks. Would you do that? The chart indicates you would get more than that. I think negotiation would tell you that you would get more than that. And we'll see. 615-737-1045. Ron Slay here.
I'm in the building. I just looked at Babs. Babs was doing like the dirty bird.
Just randomly?
With her.
She's kind of gone to that now with you.
I love that. I love that. That's what I'm talking about, see? Ain't no but Nashville infusing Babsy. That's all it is.
Slay Dog had 12 hours on the SEC Network.
Went to work.
On Saturday. Every time I go in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. Every time I turn on the SEC Network, there you are.
Yeah. And you know what was crazy? Like, I fought through that. When I got back to my hotel, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it hit me.
You were out.
Oh, I couldn't go to sleep, though. I mean, like, all the sinus, I guess the sinus pressure, but my head was like, felt like it was going to explode. I couldn't go to sleep. It was the worst it had been that night. And that was crazy. Because it felt like I was getting better throughout the show. I guess maybe because I was doping up and hitting the medicine, but...
Yeah.
You might want to clarify that.
Oh, no, I was hitting it.
Hitting the cough medicine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, is, like, when you have, like, something going on with your head, like a head cold or something like that, not that it's that. I mean, yours was like a sinus thing. But, like, when you have to do this job or that television job, like, it's not that you're just talking. You're having to enunciate and put a bunch of energy into it.
Yes.
It's not like we're just sitting here like, hey, what's up, man?
Right.
How are you, man?
Right.
You doing all right? It's like, hey, what's going on? How are you?
And I could hear myself, and I was sounding like I was nasally. But then when I went back and listened to it, I was like, dang.
I told you that you couldn't tell.
I know.
Until Dari just pointed it out.
Yeah, he always do stuff like that. That's why I was like, I shouldn't even
On
told Dari.
purpose. You shouldn't have told him,
I shouldn't have told him.
Tennessee did something they haven't done in 25 years.
What they do?
We'll talk about that. Also, Florida whooped that South Carolina, but Auburn won the number 1 versus number 2 battle at Alabama.
Dang right.
They will play again in the jungle on the last day of the season.
Woo.
It's going to be a good one.
Did you guys see Coach Pearl hit the Home Depot on his way after that game, still in his clothes he coached on? See, Bruce Pearl's just like us.
He is.
He is a lot like us, honestly. Texas A&M held off Arkansas. Texas slipped past an undermanned Kentucky team. Mississippi State went into Oxford, took down Ole Miss. Missouri beat Georgia in Athens. LSU trailed 79-74 with 35 seconds left. Cam Carter hit a three and was fouled. Hit the free throw. LSU gets the steal. Cam Carter with the layup. He then hits another free throw, personal 7-0 run. LSU scored the last 8 points of the game to win 82-79. We'll get into all that. NBA draft new format last night. Did y'all watch?
I watched it.
I did too. Look at Babs.
I know Babs didn't watch it.
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, no question.
I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, it was some.
I watched women's basketball.
I watched
you weren't wrong for that either.
I watched a lot of
Watched
women's
UCLA.
basketball.
Yep.
We will watch. We will talk about Michaela. Michaela went off again. Michaela
Oh,
Blakes.
man. How
Man.
about this girl?
I know. I went in the chat. I'm like, y'all need to be watching this.
Got a star. They got him one.
She's really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
55 double nickel.
Again.
It was all needed too. Again.
What was she like? 23 or 24 from the line. And
Yeah.
after the game in the interview, she's like, I'm mad that I missed that last free
Because she
throw.
missed the last one. You were perfect until the last one. Like you could have got to 56. Come on, Michaela. Be better than that. That was
It sounds good to say double nickel though, because Michael Jordan had the double nickel game when he came back against the Knicks.
No, that was dope to watch.
Was that? No, that wasn't the flu game.
No.
No. This is when he came back,
Okay.
and people thought he couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the dunk down the baseline.
Mm-hmm. Now Mike was different. Michaela's been different. Freshman doing that.
Michaela outscored Auburn in overtime 11-4.
Yeah. That says something. And Auburn was in control of that game. Like Vanderbilt had to fight back to win that game. So all those points were needed.
So we're talking about the trade. Would you do it? 615-737-1045. Move down to 3 and take 2 third-rounders to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do that? Matt Johnson of Sports Not outlined one free agent for each NFL team. You kind of see these things going around. What did he give the Titans? He gave them Aaron Rodgers, quarterback. Tennessee Titans.
Aaron Rodgers.
Head coach Brian Callahan is on the hot seat in 2025, and there isn't a quarterback worth the number 1 overall pick. Callahan needs someone who can function behind a below-average offensive line and is comfortable functioning in structure without making reckless decisions with the football under pressure. That's Aaron Rodgers. It's also worth considering that Rodgers has a house in Nashville.
Everybody
This
throws
jumps
at
on.
it.
Well, I mean,
by the way, I don't even think it's built yet.
No,
I
you
think it
got
just has
land.
land,
Yeah.
right?
well, and the last time when he went to the Jets, he had the land. He had already bought the land. He's
Right.
over in Brentwood. Both sides need each other in 2025, and this only needs to be a one-year partnership, is what he writes. 615-737-1045. Lines are loaded on this President's Day. Mike in Old Hickory. Mike, what's up?
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Hello, Mike.
Well, about a month ago, we were all talking about Deion Sanders' son. Everybody's all excited, and let's draft him and waste our number 1 pick. Well, let's not do that. Let's, if we're going to build a team, go down the list. Trade the number 1, go down to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, you know what? Start building the offensive line. Maybe bring in another, receiver and a rusher on the defense, end rusher. But let's not blow our number 1. And your last statement I was just listening to, Aaron Rodgers coming to Nashville, that ain't going to happen. Do you think he's going to put his body at risk behind this offensive line from a city where he's now made contacts? He said, Aaron Rodgers himself said, look, I've got friends up here, made a lot of contacts. Why would he come to Nashville and put his body at risk of getting killed behind our offensive line? So that's not going to happen.
Well, a couple of things, Mike.
Let's just do the slow and mundane thing. Let's go through the draft, give up our number 1, and go down 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 3, 4 next year, and then maybe even years beyond, right before we open up our brand new dome stadium. Get an offensive line, then draft a quarterback next year, not this year or the year after, and then bring him in to a brand new dome stadium where, you know what, it could work.
Mike, who's your quarterback next year then?
It's going to be Will Levis. I keep him only because I think he's got. If you start drafting the offensive line this year, so that they play in 2025 and give him a chance. At least we can keep him from one more year, and then because he's not going to get paid a lot. He's not getting paid a lot. We don't have to worry about signing him to 30, 40 million a year. He's not going to get it. And then we get the offensive line built up, then bring in, because right now, the quarterback college right now for the draft this year, including Deion's son, they're not in the top league. And even Deion himself at the Super Bowl, dressed up in all those gold chains and all that stuff, he said he'd rather see him in New York. So Deion ain't going to come here, Deion's son.
His name's Shador.
Yeah,
Shador. And
he keeps saying that.
Yes.
I mean,
what do the gold chains have to do with it?
We've only seen two players in the history of the league that I know about that were drafted and declined to go to that team. Only two. John Elway and Eli Manning. Those are the only
really
two.
long time ago.
Yeah. In terms of thank you, Mike, for your phone call. I appreciate it. In terms of building up the offensive line, you could build up the offensive line with the draft and still bring in Aaron Rodgers and be better up front. So in terms of that argument, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers guy necessarily outside of doing what I do. I think it would be great. But
here's
but
the
theoretically, to his point, like, if you bring in Aaron Rodgers, that means you probably traded down or you took Abdul Carter or whatever. You're drafting the best offensive tackle available, whether you trade down to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or do it in the second round. So you're already better up front.
And honestly, you're already better up front with Cushenberry back healthy at center in a better spot. Another year for Skoronski, another year for Latham. You've got 3 spots short up on your offensive line. You really have 2 that you need short up, honestly. So the argument of, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to want to come here with this crap offensive line, that offensive line isn't going to be the same. It's going to be better next year regardless, and you know you're making a move somewhere on the right side to do something, whether that's in free agency, whether that's through the draft, whatever. So you can't make the argument of, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to come here because he's not going to play behind that crap offensive line. It's not like the offensive line is going to be the same as it was last year. It's not. There's going to be some kind of moves made to fix the right side of that line.
Right.
Because it has to be.
And Mike, you're cool not wanting a quarterback. Like, I get it. Like, everybody's got all kinds of opinions, and I don't even know where I am today as we sit here waiting for that draft to come on Happy President's Day. I know you're Cam Ward. That's it. Well, I go back and forth. If I go quarterback, I'll probably go him. But if they drafted Shador, I would support that and be excited about it. I would. I'm currently trade back guy. That's currently where I am. But
yeah. And here's the other thing. I love how everyone's like, just do this and then just go get a quarterback next year. Well, for one, okay, are you planning on being that crappy again next year then to where you're going to have the number 1 overall pick? Okay. You better ensure that then, because guess what you need? If you're not the worst team in the league and sitting at that number 1 overall pick, you're going to have capital or something to be able to move up to go get a quarterback. And let's say even hypothetically, you do have all of that capital, right? And you do have the means to move up and get a quarterback. You have to have a willing suitor at the front of the draft that is going to be okay with trading with you for you to go up and get a pick where you can get a quarterback.
That is true.
That's my argument.
Usually
you're putting a lot in the hands of fate.
Right. Usually you do find a trading partner that does want to come up, but this draft class also, this quarterback class, you still don't know. I mean,
it's also not going to help your cause for next year. If teams that need quarterbacks this year, this is not a heavy, talented quarterback class. So guess what? Come next year, they're going to be looking.
Yep, JD, we thought the offensive line was going to be better for several years. That's a valid point. But if they do trade back and take an offensive tackle with the first pick, be it around 10, 11, 12, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever, then you've got 3 first-round picks on the offensive line.
As hell better be better.
Which you did not have 3 years ago, right? 615-737-1045. I love this discussion. Thank you guys for bringing your participation and your comments and your passion. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Got to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned. These are your guys, Daniel Gupton and his crew, ready to help you out. They've got deals going on. You can find all the February deals online at GuptonMotors.com. All the dealers have information, phone number, address, inventory, deals, as I mentioned, GuptonMotors.com. Some of the deals they have going on: select 2024 Jeep Gladiators up to 25% off MSRP, $500 off every pre-owned vehicle with dealer-arranged financing. Huge selection of pre-owned vehicles. Again, you can check out the inventory online, GuptonMotors.com. Select 2024 Jeep Wranglers up to 15% off MSRP. Ram 3500, 4500, 5500 in stock, upfitted, ready for all of your commercial needs. 24 West exit 35 is about 9 miles outside the city. Straight, beautiful drive into the best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Appreciate you hanging in with us today. Join 104.5 The Zone for a live taping of The Install with Greg Cosell, hosted by Buck Rising at the Analog at Hutton Hotel on Friday, May 2nd. Be there live as Greg Cosell breaks down the Tennessee Titans 2025 draft, takes questions from the audience, and more. Tickets on sale now, starting at $30. To purchase tickets, visit 1045thezone.com. Sticking primarily with the NFL draft talk and trading the pick or taking who you want to take and all those things as we roll through President's Day, but kind of interweaving some other sports stories out there. NBA All-Star, new format. So Awful Announcing put out a poll after the game was over. Did you watch? Which I thought was interesting because that's a national kind of Twitter feed. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people understand this. The NBA is such a market-driven league, you know, where like if you don't have a team, most people don't follow. Now, there are obviously pockets of big basketball fans in this market, and we're close to the Grizzlies, all those things.
Yep.
So I'm curious if our crew watched the NBA All-Star Game. Can you put that poll out there, Zeph Dog? Did you watch the NBA All-Star Game? And if so, what did you think about the new format? We were talking about it during the break, and it kind of spilled over into this segment, which is why we're coming here, because I literally told Slay right before the music started, I only have one issue. Like, I liked the, not that my opinion necessarily matters. I want to hear what you have to say about it, but I liked the new format. I thought it was interesting, and they had a concert between games and stuff like that, and they used San Francisco, like, Bay Area artists, and I thought that was really cool. Like, I texted y'all. I was like, there's Too Short. I hadn't seen Too Short forever.
I know.
Fat Joe, In Vogue was out there.
E40.
Yes, that's
E40
right.
is.
E40.
He is
Hey.
Yes,
That's
you're
your
right.
boy.
My bad.
That's my guy.
We're
best buddies.
615-737-1045. Anyway, 11% of that poll said yes, they watched.
Only 11?
11.
Listen.
So I don't know what they can do with that event. I like that they're trying to do something different. My only issue, Slay, was, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it looked like guys were trying not to be that guy. Like there was a lot of jogging. You know what I mean?
But it's been like that, though.
But yes, that's true. But like I just felt like nobody wanted to be like that guy. Like I'm going to sprint here and play defense and all this stuff.
Oh, Victor Wembanyama did.
He did. That's the one guy that did. And
Giannis
he said he was going to, and he did.
Yeah, like it's certain guys, I think that's where they're trying so many different things to bring something new to it, to kind of light that fire in the belly of these guys. And it's difficult once you pay all of these millions to say that during your break, your All-Star break, we want you to go out here and play hard too. To where it's grown now. But I think what the backlash is going to be, like you losing hold of the product. So they're putting all of this fluff around it. Like, that's what I had a problem with. I had a problem with the concert. I thought you should do the concert. If you're going to do that, do it at the beginning of the game.
Like before.
And let's roll, man. If I ain't got time, as a player, you don't want to be sitting there. You get warmed up. Because first of all, in an All-Star, you're in an All-Star mindset. It's going to take 4 or 5 minutes outside of the warm-up while the game is going for you to get going, get your adrenaline going, and then you're like, okay, I'm in a game.
And they only played to 40.
That's what I'm saying.
And so then, like, the winning team would have to sit.
Exactly.
Anyway.
You know what I mean? So that's
after the concert, I did notice that a lot of the guys, like, while they were cleaning up, were stretching again as if they hadn't even played that night yet.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what you don't want to do. Like, when you play, people always compare it to, like, you play harder in the summer when you play pickups. Well, in pickup, there's no stop. There's no stoppage. You got 5 more on the other side ready to go. They in and you continue to play. So that was my only problem with it. I did like, seeing the younger guys get an opportunity to go play, because one thing about it, you heard Dame Lillard say, they didn't want to be the guys that were going to be the ones that were beaten by the first year or second year guys. You don't want that stain on your name.
Draymond said they shouldn't have even been in the game.
And Draymond is right. Like, how do you put a guy in his first year or his second year? All-Star is the best of the best in the entire world. Not just the NBA, the world. Because those guys in Europe that are really good have come to the NBA. So it's a pot of talent right there, dog, that is the creme de la creme. So how do you get awarded to go and play on that level? You have the Rising Stars game. That's what that's for. After that, then it should be all well and done. But it's brought on because of them. They won't play hard. So you have to do something to throw in there to ignite it. So you bring younger guys in, and if you get that black eye on you, you let these guys come in here and beat you. Are you really an all-star? You know what I'm saying? So you got to go out there and play hard.
I did notice that when the younger guys were playing, the other team played just hard enough.
Yeah, just hard enough. Yeah,
like
that's what it is.
They were not going to let them beat them.
That's what it is. So it's going to have to be something, man. When they collect a bargaining agreement, I think a lot of this is going to get nipped in the bud, and it's going to be a shame because when you ask football or NFL guys or anybody, any other sport, Mike, what's the difference? Like, what's your hate on the basketball? They get guaranteed contracts. Mm-hmm. When them guaranteed contracts are out and when these fans start getting on the side of the owners, it's going to be different. Like in the NFL, fans are on the side of the franchise. They're loyal to the franchise. They're not loyal to the players. If somebody, we just went through it with Chris Johnson, telling his story. Like when a player, they send a player away, it's like, oh, man, with Derrick Henry. Oh, man, they should have kept Derrick Henry. But you're still cheering for the Titans. You didn't go with Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens. Somebody get traded from the Knicks to the Lakers, you going with that player. That's just what it is. It's a fan-driven league.
And a player.
You know what I'm saying? So,
that's a great point.
Yeah, once you lose that, though, and these fans start saying, owners, man, we riding with y'all. These players need to be playing. You already see in Atlanta how they cut the concessions, and it's bringing more fans in, and they spending more on the franchise by going to buy jerseys and all of this. Man, you lose that power, it's going to be trouble. And then it's going to be up in arms. It's going to be hard to get them back.
I loved when I was writing down this topic last night while watching the game, I knew how stupid I was. and I loved the fact that I had Slade to lean on when I came in here. That was great perspective. 615-737-1045. Zeph?
So my biggest problem with it, and I didn't watch all of it. I watched a little bit of it.
I think that's probably most people.
And
I think there's a healthy amount of people like Babs that didn't even know what was happening.
I didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with it was
care.
the fact that in a 3-hour window in which the All-Star game was being played,
it
was 42 minutes of just basketball. It was the rest of it was either ads or the additional programming.
To Slade's point, so too much fluff as opposed to.
I mean, like nobody tunes into an All-Star game to watch people talk about an All-Star game that hasn't even happened yet, or to watch commercials that are promoting something that they'll probably never buy, or watch a music performance of someone who they probably haven't seen or heard of. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, to be in line with like Fat Joe and Too Short, you got to be a certain age.
No.
and like,
why you keep saying Fat Joe? He's 40.
He's 40, yeah. I do keep saying Fat Joe. But you have to be a certain age.
Yeah.
And it feels like they were aiming the game at a different age than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a younger age. So to Zeph's point, I bet a lot of people didn't even know who the music was.
And people watching
they didn't put the names on the screen either, which I thought was interesting.
And people watching on TV, like all that's cool for like the people like at the game, like because you get like a concert. But the people watching on TV, it's like, all right, well, I tuned in to watch a basketball game, and I'm watching 10 people talk about a basketball game that I haven't even seen yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were trying to give a send-off to Ernie and those guys. And that was...
Oh, that's cool. It was just weird.
It was cool, but it was weird.
Yeah.
I'm like...
it felt unorganized.
Well, Kevin Hart gave them all fishing gear right before they delivered these emotional addresses.
Right.
So, like, they're addressing everyone emotionally, dressed ridiculously. They timed that badly.
Yep.
So, I mean, like, Charles Barkley standing here with a fishing rod trying to talk about how much the crew means to him.
Like, I tuned that out, and I love that crew. So, it's. But they got some stuff to. And listen, Saturday, I remember last year, Saturday when we were in studio watching, I made them, we was like, hey, dog, turn the NBA dunk contest on too. This year, we were in the midst of college basketball and was like, dog, did y'all know the slam dunk contest was on? So that lets you know where the level of attention is, man. Give me college basketball.
Which we will talk about. It was an active day in the SEC. All lines are loaded. Let's go to the phone. 615-737-1045. Appreciate you guys hopping in. Darrington next up on 3HLD. What's up?
What's going on? Just a sidebar of what I was just talking about. I might be in the minority. I loved every bit of All-Star Weekend, the entirety of the game. Only thing I wish the target score wasn't 40 for the actual game. I wish it would have been a little bit higher. But outside of that, I loved it. The whole going fishing, that's all inside the NBA does every playoff. It's symbolic. I loved it.
No, I don't have a problem with the going fishing thing. I just would have preferred them to deliver their emotional words without all that stuff on. Like, they could have done those things separately.
To me, that made it even more entertaining because you're giving this. So now I don't have to be so emotionally caught up. I can still laugh.
I wanted to be emotionally caught up.
Your emotions.
I get you, man.
The reason why I was calling y'all was talking about these Titans and these draft picks. So I did my little Greg Cosell this weekend, and I've been breaking down film. And I keep hearing a lot of people keep talking about this Abdul Carter guy.
Yeah.
And I went to go watch, and everybody keep talking about he's a comparison to Michael Parsons. I come to find out, watching the All 22, watching lineups and stuff like that, if you have a tackle that has somewhat, I would say, day 2 draft, maybe day 3 draft potential, Abdul Carter turns into a Deion Jordan / Jadeveon Clowney. That's basically what he is. Yeah, I feel like he's overhyped, overvalued, and not worth a high pick. You're going to get a Deion Jordan case if you go that route, or Jadeveon Clowney. You might have some moments, but it's not going to last long. I promise you that. He's just not going to fit. Then I was hearing about the quarterbacks. My thing is...
Wait. Real quick on Abdul Carter. Just to clarify, we never said that. We never compared him to Michael Parsons. In fact, we have questions about him.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah, not you guys.
Okay.
And then I was talking about the quarterback. I look at, Cam Ward this and Shador that, but what's going to be the best fit for the actual coaching? And for the coaching style, I just feel like Shador's skill set is better for the coaching. You go get a Cam Ward, that's not his forte, that whole moving. Yeah, with this offensive line, you probably need something like that, but I would prefer Shador as far as the coaching goes. But if you ask me, I'd say go get a number 1 receiver. Go get something like that and trade that number 1 spot. Go get or trade it for a Garrett Wilson, something that's proven, or Chris Olave from the Saints. The Saints want to move up. I need your first this year, Chris Olave, and your first next year, and maybe a third this year. Just something more a little bit interesting.
I might be down with that. I might be down with that.
2 first.
Yeah,
a player and a third, yeah.
And a productive
player. A first and a third this year, a first next year, and let me have Chris Olave. I was Slay. I never got a chance to tell you this before I go. From growing up out east, now out east where I'm from, class of 05, Maplewood, I always loved to be a Panther. Congratulations on being a Hall of Famer. I never got to say I got to talk to a Hall of Famer, but damn it, I'm talking to a Hall of Famer now. So
that's right.
You, sir.
Appreciate that, Darren. My man, appreciate that, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. 615-737-1045.
I forgot all about Deion Jordan. I had to go look him up. Oh, man, he was so...
Remember the Penn State fan that called in and just dropped all kinds of knowledge about Abdul
Carter, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I'm telling y'all, I'm a Penn State fan.
So did.
But that guy makes enough plays to put a tape out there and has production, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, has the numbers. But to Darrington's point, if you watch, and I watched the game you were at, and I was like,
we talked about it.
The first play I turned on, that tackle got his hands on Abdul Carter. Yeah. And not only did he keep him off the quarterback, he put him in the ground and laid on him.
Yeah.
And
you don't want that.
No offense to SMU, but up front, they are not quite there yet.
Right.
And that was SMU.
615-737-1045. How about D talking to a Hall of Famer?
Man, all right,
when is your Hall of Fame induction day?
July 19th.
Okay.
It'll be July 19th.
And you're going to have a lot of tables.
Yeah,
I don't know how you're going to. I don't know how it.
I don't either.
Well, it costs a lot to get into the Hall of Fame.
That's what I heard.
We gonna have a party before or after?
After, for sure.
Do you want me to plan it?
Chris.
Oh, Babs is party planning.
Oh, Chris is planning. I'll plan it with Chris.
Yeah, there you go.
Or just
show up. In the mix.
Or just show up.
Yeah. This will be a night.
615-737-1045. I saw Brad Willis on social media surprise Andy Kelly with the same type deal, former Tennessee quarterback. And Andy's like such an aw shucks guy. He was like, oh, Brad, that's so nice, man. Wow. Golly, man. That's so nice.
Golly.
He made one of the greatest throws I've ever seen a Tennessee quarterback make. Post route against number 1 Notre Dame. I was in the stadium. Like, you could feel their presence. Notre Dame, when they ran on the field, they were Like, I know they're good now, but they had a huge drought. But back then, they had just won a national title in '88. They had Rocket Ismail. I mean, Rodney Culver. Like, I mean, you can go down the list of Zorich, of all of the players, Jerome Bettis, and you could feel their presence. But anyway, Andy Kelly, about a 50-yard post route to Alvin Harper, who played a long time in the NFL. I mean, with Todd Light, who's an all-pro all over him, just dropped it in the bucket for a touchdown. That place went crazy. And like, just the feeling that, like, hey, we can play with number one.
It's the big dogs.
Because Tennessee was coming to, like, 88. They started 0-6. So now you're talking 1990, and you're playing with number one. 615-737-1045. At 3HL1045. Steve in Nashville. Steve, what's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call on this President's Day, Ron. Congrats on the Hall of Fame.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. So, yeah, man. So, the first pick is whatever someone determines to give it for you. The reason I'm all inclined to say, hey, go get rid of the first pick is because you got so many holes on the team. You got to have somebody that can put it in the end zone. You got to have somebody that can protect somebody to put him in the end zone. You can address all that. I don't want a bridge quarterback at all, period. And I'm not so sure that Mr. Callahan's going to be our coach next year. And y'all can address this on a different show, but that line sucked worse as the year went on, okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. I got a son. If my son was my head coach, I'd be like, fire me, because I didn't prove anything to you. It's not a sexy pick, but Will Campbell from LSU is probably the best guy there. And then I don't know why they keep saying Travis Hunter cannot play on both sides of the ball because it's a quote-unquote man's league. That man's done that for the last several years. Give him a try. I do think he's better at corner.
I really don't hear that, honestly. I think
if you turn on ESPN or everybody else, they say
okay, well, man, I've missed it, but everyone I talk to says that dude's playing both ways.
Yeah, those are the only two players I would consider to be first-round products. Just look at the list.
So if you said
so many holes on this team, go ahead.
But you said you you wouldn't take a bridge quarterback, so
absolutely not.
So
y'all are going to laugh.
You're going back with Will Levis?
Not a bit. Ask me. Say, who are you going to have as your quarterback next year?
Who are you going to have as your quarterback?
We thought you just tell him.
All right. I've talked to y'all before about it. It's not a crazy idea. I go get Mac Jones.
Huh.
He's not under contract. I guess we'll find out March 4th. Yeah. He looked a whole hell of a lot better than half these other guys. He looked like he figured it out.
He did. You sure he ain't under contract? What is it? This was year 3 complete?
He is not under contract. He is out of contract.
Wow.
Yep. So I've solved several problems.
Mac did look better.
And Abdul Carter, you guys are exactly right. I'm not sold on him at all. At all. And also, I think he takes off too many plays.
All right,
that's my take on it. We'll find out what happens. But, yeah, yep. I think in the next show, you have a show that's Fire Daddy. Because that might make us. Hey, you're thinking about it right now, Slay. That'd be good.
All right. My only thing to that, though, I can't fire Daddy if I'm going to go get him Will Campbell. Because, I mean, I now gave him a healthy cushy berry.
I'm not firing that guy. Give him another year with that offensive line.
Yeah, but just for what he's saying, though. But, going to go get Will Campbell, I mean, you just went and got me a first-round tackle. I just got you Latham, just got you Skoronski, then Cushenberry. We're going to go find the right guard. Like, if we really want to shore it up.
More of an inside guy. Anyway.
Even if that is. You still got me, like Baz was just talking about, you just got 3 first-rounders right there. So I need to see you work with that before I fire you.
Also the offensive line
I'm firing with you.
The offensive line got even worse, too, because you lost your center as well.
That was huge.
Injuries.
Yeah, and then you lost injuries on the right side,
Just pointing that out.
Yeah.
What if they trade back and then Cam Ward turns out to be Jaden Daniels? And then they will have passed on that?
Everybody had to leave.
This city might burn down.
You can't make a pick out of fear, but wouldn't that be the most Titans thing to have happen?
If that happens,
yes, it would.
I'm going to go on and say we ain't going to never be able to be nothing.
So what's worse, missing?
If that happens, we ain't going to never be able to be nothing.
What's worse, missing on one of the quarterbacks or drafting one of the quarterbacks and they turn out to be a bust?
Missing.
Like Giants,
I can draft one to be.
Giants trade up. They take Cam Ward. He turns out to be, has them in the playoffs in year 1.
I can draft him and he'd be a bust, dog. I can't not draft him and miss. I can't do that.
615-737-1045.
Lots of people bust on quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's
All the time.
You got to shoot your shot
Every year.
That's your whole reason. You're supposed to be an evaluator of talent. Like that's
a
the
wild
risk
place to be.
that you take. That's part of it, man. Nah, but you can't. Nah,
It gives me heartburn. The whole thing gives me heartburn.
you're gonna be able to sit right there and have no conversation across from me from the desk, and we sitting up here watching what he do in New York, and they're in the first round of the playoffs. You might, yeah, all right. Hey, go on find somebody bring that little truck outside so we can pack his stuff up and get him up out of here.
I mean,
Because we ain't got time to play around with him.
I started to say the Redskins. The Commanders, Washington, hadn't been in the NFC Championship game since, 1991?
Mm-hmm.
Rookie quarterback, boom.
Yeah,
It's going to be a fun draft season. 615-737-1045. Combine starts this week. We'll be right back.
All right. Has anyone ever asked you how many devices does your home have connected to your Wi-Fi? Well, Xfinity asked me that, so I counted them, and it was way more than I thought. More than a dozen. All of it to keep my entire family connected to the good stuff. We're talking streaming, the teenagers gaming, the interneting, the toddlers movies, and Disney stuff. You name it, it is going on at our house. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Rabs works from home. So Xfinity knows the number of devices we have connected to our internet is growing by the year, and that's why they engineered their gateways to handle hundreds of connected devices. Hundreds. Now through March 23rd, you can get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 1 year with no annual contract. Plus, get free Wi-Fi equipment included. Make sure your home Wi-Fi can handle everything you throw at it and then some. Just visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or stop by a store to switch today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes, fees, extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Mary J. Happy President's Day. I got a question for y'all that I was going to throw today, but I'm gonna save it for tomorrow.
And I'm going to make it feel right.
What's the 411? It's one of the best albums ever.
Classic. Share my world.
Kids are like, what's an album?
Right. Tape.
Record. CD.
All that, yeah. All that's gone. They just know
8-track?
streaming. They streaming. That's it. I wonder what comes after streaming. That's gonna be
what's
weird.
next?
Yeah, like I
It's going to be repeating something that's already happened.
what, 8-tracks?
I don't know. I can't see the future.
Did y'all watch the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary thing?
I watched highlights of it on social media. I got to go back and watch
pretty
it.
cool.
I heard it was pretty dope. Yeah.
That's how I kind of consumed it. And then I turned it on. I was flipping back and forth between the NBA and that. And,
I'll probably watch it tonight.
But some of the stuff, like Adam Sandler sang a song about Saturday Night Live that's all over social media that was so freaking good.
Oh, it was awesome.
I mean, just incredible. And he kind of broke down when he mentioned Chris Farley and Norm Macdonald, who's been on 3HL. And then at the end, he got a standing ovation from all of these, high-level people that were in the audience.
Yeah.
And he started crack up again. That was good. Post Malone doing Nirvana. A lot of people, like Nirvana fans, were like, I don't want to see him do that. But I thought it was incredible. And I thought it was a way to honor that band. You know what I mean? And like Dave Grohl and all the Nirvana guys were there that are living. But I'm like you. I
See Peyton Manning?
I want to go watch the whole thing. Like I only saw
snippets. Yeah. I want to see that. Brought Eddie back.
Brought Eddie back.
Nate Bargatze?
Nate was in it. Yeah,
He's
see, I
just
gotta go
blown
back.
up.
I mean, blown up.
He was just sitting in there with us, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Not even.
And he had already kind of blown up then, but like he started coming into 3HL early days at 3HL, and he would come in and talk Vanderbilt and his show at Zany's. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's so funny, man.
He's so funny. Congrats to him.
And clean. See, you can be clean and be funny.
I don't think I can.
I can't either, but just saying, you can.
It's possible.
I told you that my grandfather is related to him.
No.
They're
To who?
To Nate Bargatze. They're second cousins.
I don't even know how all that cousin thing works.
I don't either, but he told me that.
What's second cousin? What's the
I
twice
mean,
removed?
It's cousin of a cousin.
Hunk was like second cousins with
Yeah.
Bear
Hank
Bryant or
Williams
something.
Jr.
Yeah. Oh, Hank Williams Jr., yeah.
I don't know. He dropped that on me at
Jake
Christmas.
from Brentwood.
Yes, they're related too.
He dropped
By the
that
way,
knowledge on Christmas.
Zeph has the most mysterious life.
Thanks.
We don't know anything about Zeph, really.
Now
know almost
everybody's
everything
coming.
about me.
No, we know everything that we know on the surface. Now everybody's trying to come to my side. That's right, Babs. You are absolutely right.
Don,
There's a
please do
lot
not
we don't
feed
know.
into this.
It is a whole lot we don't know. There's a lot going on under that Cracker Barrel apron.
Don't feed into this.
Whole lot.
No, you're right.
I'm telling you, Babsy. I told you.
Don't feed into
I
it.
peeped it from so far away.
So how's the New Orleans Cracker Barrel menu going? You brought that back from New Orleans. Like Zeph's first day back is a New Orleans menu hanging up.
It was. I cooked yesterday, and I got some of the items. They were interesting.
What were you cooking yesterday? Cracker Barrel in Murfreesboro, to be exact.
I was on the grill again, so flipping pancakes and bacon and sausage. But when lunchtime came around, I got a couple orders of the. It's like shrimp and steak. It's called like the Big Easy. So it's like 5 pieces of grilled shrimp and this Cajun butter sauce over a New York strip. And then there's shrimp and rice and then shrimp and grits. I actually didn't get a shrimp and grits.
Does anybody ever send food back to you?
I mean, typically I don't mess up food, but if the servers ring in the wrong thing and I cook what they bring in.
That's so subtle,
This
Zeph.
is Zeph. This is the Zeph.
Yep.
Blames the
Here it is.
server. I knew he would do
Here's
that.
Cracker Barrel, Zeph.
Yep.
I mean, I don't mess up food, but when somebody else screws up.
I don't. I might forget something, but I will not.
You don't like
overcook
overcook a steak or something?
No.
Do you mess up on the show?
Here? Yeah.
Is it our fault?
No.
Oh, look at him.
Yeah, but
sometimes
y'all don't control. Well, sometimes, yeah, you're right. Break times, but
yeah, break time. Speaking of, That's funny. 615-737-1045.
I don't mess up.
I'm telling you.
Dustin in Laverne. Hello, Dustin.
What's up, guys? Hope
Yo.
you're doing well today.
What up, Dustin?
I just wanted to put out my dream draft day scenario. Of course, a lot of things would have to happen, but I feel like the Titans could just break everything if they went ahead and just called the Giants, who I've heard are very interested in Cam Ward. Tell them, hey, come on up, get that first pick from us. We'll go back to 3. So let's just assume they got Cam Ward and the Browns got, either Abdul Carter or Hunter, and then you're at 3. We'll call the Raiders and say, hey, I heard you like Shador. Why don't you trade up to 3 and we'll go back to 6 and then just double down on them and still have a pick in the top 10.
That's right in line with Dawn's husband, Travis.
Yep.
He had this idea a long time ago, and I'm all for it if you could pull it off. Because you move down to 3,
a lot of things would have to go right, obviously.
The chart says you get their number 3, overall number 3, and a second and a third. So, and then if you move from 3 to 6, then you're really accumulating draft capital.
And you might even still fall into Hunter or Carter if they somehow did fall back there, So, anyways, just a thought. It's fun to think about. So, y'all have a good day.
Or what's that guy from Texas? Thank you, Kelvin Banks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's 6. I don't know. Whoever you think the best offensive tackle is.
Well, isn't he one of those that's people think he's going to slide inside?
Yeah, but he's a big dude, man.
I think it's arms. Same thing with Peter Skronsky. It was his arms.
Short arms.
Mm-hmm.
We had him on at SEC Media Days. That was a big man.
Huge.
Yeah.
That arm stuff is, I get it, but come on, man.
I mean,
You've got long arms, though.
You've got to do absolutely everything to differentiate these guys.
Yeah.
You wanted to catch the ball in high
Right.
school. Had you been like offensive tackle, maybe you'd still be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Those long ass arms.
Yeah, I doubt it. See me now.
I loved your Hall of Fame day when we got to ask Coach Fitzgerald about that.
Tell you, man. Because I was a hidden gem. He was trying to keep me hidden. He didn't want me to get poached. I know what it was.
Your story about talking John Henderson into playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you.
Hey, best laid plans of mice and men often go awry.
We was on our way, dog.
You were.
No, we. He drove us there. Yeah. I didn't have no car. He was the leader in there. I should let him go in first.
Yeah.
That's why I messed up.
Yeah.
I went in first.
Yeah.
See, then I would have knew what happened, and I could have been like, you know what? I don't know why he came up here, Coach. He was tripping. We both gonna play football.
That was a great story.
Yeah, man.
Coach Fitzgerald's one of the best, man. I mean, man, he looked good, too.
Yeah, big mob, baby.
615-737-1045. Reese and Laura on hold. Bam will lead us off when we come back. Josh in Clarksville. Man, speaking of Clarksville, I mean, you want to talk about flooding.
It's flooding up there?
Yeah.
I saw a stat that 4 of the top 10 rainfall days in the history of Clarksville have happened in the last, year and a half.
Kentucky got it bad, too. Mm-hmm. Oh, Kentucky. Did
That's what I worry
Nashville
about.
get it bad down here? Friday and Saturday?
Oh, Saturday was the rain.
Oh, it looked bad out my window.
Really?
I didn't leave.
It was crazy, yeah.
Leaving Bridgestone Saturday night from that concert, I could not see the lines on the interstate.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I was going 40 all the way down 24.
Who'd you go with?
My fiance.
Her name is Alyssa.
Everybody knows her as Alyssa. You can
Okay, Alyssa.
Babs went, but felt guilty, so left.
Well, because we had planned this whole night with Mr. Babs. He loves Cody Johnson, loves Cody Johnson.
Would I know a Cody Johnson song if you played it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You would know.
Were you
a
there
bunch of
when
them.
he brought up Carrie Underwood?
No, I wasn't. I don't want to talk about it. I felt guilty. We went with 2 other couples.
He brought
I felt
out Ashley
guilty
McBride,
because
too, right?
She was the
opened.
opener.
Right. But didn't she come out with him, too?
And Luke Bryan, right? I mean, not Luke Bryan.
Luke Combs.
Luke Combs, thank you.
One
the
of the
other
Lukes,
Luke.
yeah.
Anyway.
He brought him out at the very end.
Yeah. So I left after a couple songs in because Mr. Babs was deathly ill and I felt guilty. I'd already cordoned him off into the guest room.
Guilt is an interesting
And locked the door.
thing that I really haven't seen from you.
Shame on you, Babsy.
I
I know you do.
See, I am nice deep down.
Wow, what a way to say that.
I do care.
Deep down.
Boy,
Sometimes I care.
what a tone involved in all that.
Right.
Well, I believe it.
Ramon, who's Cody Johnson? Come on, big savage. Google him.
Hey, Carrie Underwood was pretty good, though, for the song she came out for.
Yeah, she's always amazing.
Her voice is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Even when the music don't work, she can do it.
I'll just
Showing that.
sing it.
Proving that.
Just sing it. All right, 5 o'clock hour coming up. 3HL 1045.
All right, fellas, listen up, man. I've got to holler at you real quick. And I know Valentine's Day is gone, but you still got to impress when you get in that bedroom. I promise you that. You know what I'm talking about right now. You're happy. Is your partner happy? You making noticeable differences. Well, if you're not, you got that lack of desire, energy, performance issues, GamesDayMen'sHealth.com is where you need to head over to. This is the number you need to call or text. Feel comfortable with either. 615-898-9367. 615-898-9367. Tell them Big Slay sent you over there. You're trying to get right. You want to get that body together while the spring is about to hit. Get ready for the summer. This is your opportunity. It's completely free, too. So go in there and get your consultation and lab work to find out your numbers. You got 2 locations you can go to, Green Hills or Hendersonville. Go and get your testosterone checked, get your T levels, and figure out exactly what they are. In 15 minutes, you'll have your lab results back. You'll meet with a medical expert who specializes in testosterone, sexual health, and erectile dysfunction, and receive a tailored solution for your needs. So if you decide to move forward, this is the time. 615-898-9367. Get in the game with GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Good evening. It is 5:03. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Tennessee basketball ranked number 6 in this week's AP poll, dropping just one spot after going 1-1 last week. Auburn, Florida, Duke, Alabama, and Houston all ranked above the Vols this week. Tennessee doesn't have a midweek game, so they will return to action on Saturday against number 7 Texas A&M. Tennessee baseball remains at number 4 in the D1 baseball rankings after sweeping Hofstra in the season opening series. Texas A&M, Virginia, LSU all rank ahead of the Vols. They will be back in action Tuesday when they host UNC Asheville. In NFL news, the Bengals plan to place the non-exclusive franchise tag on star wide receiver T. Higgins, according to reports. This would be the second offseason in a row that Higgins gets the tag. However, he is a candidate to receive a contract extension. The NFL tag window officially opens Tuesday, February 18th at 3 p.m. Central Time. It will last until Tuesday, March 4th at 3 p.m. Central Time. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Monday. Hope you're having a great President's Day. Hopefully you had the day off. If not, we're here for you for the next hour to try to entertain.
That's right.
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Ramon Foster entrenched in the chat right now if you want to chat with him.
What up, Savage?
And other members of the 3HL and 104.5 The Zone crew. What up, Savage? Babsy's here.
What up, Babsy?
Let's go.
You don't?
Zeph just said, this is the first time I've looked outside and it is light.
Like completely light.
Completely light at this point in the day.
And what did you say?
It is light AF out there.
Light.
At 5.
At 5. Slay Dog is here.
I'm in the building.
Well, that energy level's there, man.
Trying to get back, y'all.
You back.
I'm fighting, baby. I'm fighting.
I'm back, baby.
One more good night of rest. Court in the morning with good old Chunk.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yep.
Wait, like you get to confront her?
Oh, I get to see. I think. I don't know if they still do it like that. I think maybe she might be on video or something. I don't know. I hope she's in there.
What did you call her?
Chunky Junkie.
Junkie.
Yeah, I shortened it to Chunk.
You can't shorten that.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know why I shortened it. It's right
So you've got a court with her tomorrow.
9:15. It's going down.
For real.
I can't wait to get in there and point. Yeah, I'm tired
Wait,
of telling
she's gonna
on
be
you
there?
later. I don't know.
So
Somebody
Slay,
representation.
Mr. Slay is the person that stole your vehicle in this courtroom. Could you please point her out?
Absolutely. Boom. That lady right there. Without the sock puppet and no cooler this time. That's her. Whitney Warren.
Are you going to call her Chunky Junkie there?
That is her, the Chunky Junkie right there. It's absolutely her. Ma'am, could you please stand up and show the court how chunky you are?
So you're going to get held in contempt.
Who? What? Why?
If you do that.
Why?
Because judges don't like that.
Well, I got to get a warning. First, you don't just get put in contempt. You got to get a warning.
It's hard to be a junkie in prison, isn't it? Or in jail. She's not in prison yet.
Wait.
No, you can be a junkie. You know.
Oh, you can? I thought she'd be going through like detox or something right now.
I mean,
there are ways around that.
I don't know the system.
I wonder how her 3-month-old baby's doing.
So cool, yo.
Does that guy still have it? Does she trade the car for?
I mean, if she ain't got the car.
I mean, the baby was 2 months old when that happened.
Jeez.
No, that was after me. Oh, you're right.
It was. It was a month before you.
No, I thought it was the next day.
She was on the run for a month.
There was
a run since 21.
I thought there was
technically, yeah.
I mean, there were a bunch of things, and maybe we've got it.
There was 9 different ones. I mean, it all kind of flows together.
Without attempted murder, which
kind of blends
she's
together.
firing your weapon at people.
Absolutely.
Allegedly.
Savage, I am snitching. I can't wait to snitch. Hell yeah. That's me. And that's that lady.
That's that lady.
Yeah,
right
hell
there.
yeah.
There she go.
Everything was just going just fine. You want to take my car. That's the worst place. Them some of the worst people. Thieves are some of the worst people on earth.
You had just given this like pre-New Year's Eve
Yep.
speech to the car thieves out there.
Yep. No, it was more vandalism at that time.
Like leave the cars alone.
Yeah, don't break into no car. Yeah.
Let people go out and Uber home.
Yeah, and come back the next day, get the car. Everything will be fine.
Boy.
Nope.
And a couple months later, you're in the Shell station with your car running, the keys in your pocket, your phone in there, your registered pistol in there, and she just hops in there and, floors it out of that place.
She was gone.
She was gone.
Oh, I hope they played the video.
And then flipped it.
Oh, that's right. It's all on video from the gas station camera.
I guess they would have to, right?
I would think so. It's evidence.
Yeah.
Can you make sure you get a copy of that for us?
I would surely try.
Thank you, sir.
We do want to see it.
I want a copy of you cooking at Cracker Barrel over at somewhere. Somebody asked where in Murfreesboro. Old Fort Parkway. That's where you'll find stuff.
Nobody believes that.
I want a video of you cooking steak, bourbon steak or whatever it is.
That's another disguise.
Man, I was getting my butt whooped on yesterday. It was busy.
You couldn't handle it, huh?
Did you?
No, I got through it.
Couldn't handle the heat? You got to get out of the kitchen?
I was getting my butt whooped, but I got through it.
Did you treat the servers properly?
Yeah, I was a little too busy cooking to turn around and yell at anybody. So,
all right.
I did get a check in the middle of breakfast rush, like right at that 11, where after
somebody gave you some money during the rush.
No, that's what we call the tickets or checks. Yeah, someone ordered an online order for 60 grilled tenders, 5 sides of green beans, 5 big pans of green beans, and it just completely screwed me up because it took my entire grill up.
I love the Cracker Barrel green beans. Savage is on one.
Savage has lost his damn mind, man.
Point your finger like E.T. I hope it glows from identifying her.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We do want to hear about it.
Oh, you know I have a store.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have a store. It's amazing what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all.
Yeah, I got to get on the bird.
You got to what?
Get on the bird after that.
Oh. Are you doing a show tomorrow?
Whose?
This show.
No, I got to go. It's Tuesday.
Flying out after, though? Oh, I got you.
You're flying out tonight.
No, I got court in the morning.
Oh, you're going to court.
Oh, Tuesday. Yes.
What day is it?
Jeez, what is going on in my head?
Yeah,
Who's on third?
Remember when we did that?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was wild.
We did that off the cuff. I want to hear that again. I mean, you did it perfectly.
No clue.
Having never seen who's on first.
At all. Sometimes just go with the flow.
Is that me and Hunk that got you on that?
Yep, and Babs.
Oh, and Babs. Yeah. Need to find that. Slay who's on first. That'd be great. We're going to get into some serious Saturday basketball in the SEC in the next segment. 615-737-1045. Bam in Nashville. Bam, what's up?
Bam, what's going on? Everybody doing all right?
Hi, good.
What
How
up,
are
Bam?
you?
Man, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Yo, check this. First off, I wanted to tap on what y'all was talking about the draft earlier. I honestly, at first I was on the trade back stuff, but then it's kind of like, I really don't know. I'm cool with Cam or Shador, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Now, if I say, if you have to pick some for Callahan, I'd almost say Shador. I'd almost say that the more I think about it. Then I'm indifferent. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes because you really don't know what's going to happen. But I'm kind of on we need a quarterback in the worst way. And I'm with Don. I don't want to be crappy again next year. I dealt with that enough this year. I'll be tired of being stressed out after every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to see Will Levis march his butt out there. And we got to take 12 interceptions and stuff like that. You know, so I don't know. It's just, even when the Titans have a off season, we're still stressed out. Mm-hmm. So it's just the stress that never ends. It never ends.
It never ends.
But Slay, hey man, congratulations, my dog. Love you, dude. Look, when you have your party, you know I'm a phone call away. Matter of fact, my band, I'm coming for you. Me and my band, we coming for you, buddy. We coming for you, bro. I'm coming to groove with you, man.
How's the food truck thing going? Didn't I read that? Bam.
Huh?
Didn't I read that you were doing a food truck or something?
Yeah, man, I'm doing everything, bro. I'm doing it all.
How's the food truck going?
Bro, it's going great, bro. I got to bring y'all some wings and stuff like that. I got to bring y'all everything.
Yeah, come see us.
since Slay is a wing guy, I got to go ahead and win him on over.
I'm glad you called. I'm glad you called because I owe you a message. I owe you a response that slipped through the cracks. I'm sorry about that, but yeah.
It's all good, bro. Come on, man. Look, I know y'all be busy. We all be busy, man. We're here making money, man.
I'm happy for you, especially when wings are involved.
Absolutely.
Come on, man. I got y'all, man. Yeah. But I just want to hear what y'all thought about that when it came to the whole, like, where I just think we need a quarterback. I really feel like
you ain't wrong.
We cannot like let this slip out of our hands, man.
What if they don't take one and they both turn out to be just incredible quarterbacks?
See, and that's what's gonna make everybody go off, and that's what's gonna get somebody else fired. That's what I'm saying. It's like we're in this purgatory that just never ends. Like, okay, we don't pick them. I mean, okay, we get Abdul, and then man. If we don't pick somebody in there, what are we doing in free agency?
I know.
The stress never ends. I'm getting my anxiety going up just talking about it.
You draft Abdul, and then he turns into like 8, 9, 10 sack guy, which is fine, but not like overall number one guy, right? Like, you need Javon Curse on that
I feel like he would be an upgraded Harold Landry. I feel like he would be an upgraded for a year. He's going to have a stellar year 1 year. Then after that, something's going to happen. I feel like if we get Travis Hunter, I feel like Hunter's going to be good, but he's not gonna be what we. But you ain't playing both positions in the NFL. No, they hit harder. They do all this. No, man, he ain't finna do that in the NFL.
I think they could have a package for him, but I'm with you on. I like
not full time both ways.
I'm down with the comparison of Abdul Carter with Harold Landry. Oddly, he's here,
man.
But yeah.
Love y'all, man. I just wanted to hear what y'all thought about it.
All right, Bam. Thank you, man.
Thanks,
he ain't wrong. They need a quarterback, and it's funny. It's great to have the number one overall pick once it happens. But there's a lot of pressure involved in that, too. Mm-hmm. And you're right. You don't get that right, you're done.
Yep.
Donezo. Like multiple people.
Yes, indeed.
So they're over there 13, 14 hours a day trying to figure out how to not make that happen. Bam's good, man. 615-737-1045. Jael said no. Michaela Blake's mentioned. Yeah, we did.
I mean, he ain't listening. He's just talking, man.
Come on, Jael. Where have you been?
He's just in there talking.
And we will talk more about her.
We actually talked for a while about her.
I've got more. 615-737-1045.
All right, sometimes it's time to upgrade those things in your home that, aren't the sexiest to upgrade, right? Maybe windows and doors. I mean, snow on the way. It's still cold around here. Maybe you have felt in your windows that cold air seep through, which means you know that you need new windows and doors. You need to call my friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. It was time for us to upgrade things. Actually, we're still upgrading things. Here's the beauty of it. You can do it in tiers. If you want. That's what we did for our home. Did a couple of windows first and then a new door. Now I'm doing another door and a couple more windows. That's what you can do at your house too. And you might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Affordable and of course the best quality out there. I love a good deal. You love a good deal. Pella wants to give you a good deal every month for the next few months. I'm going to give you the Dawn deal for February. 47% off qualifying installations and no interest if paid in full within 12 months. So you have a year to pay off your windows and doors. No payments due. All you have to do, call them 615-249-1910. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Schedule your free consultation. Tell them to give you the Dawn deal. That's PellaNashville.com.
Chris Lowe coming up on 3HL. Shout out. Presented by your mom and them.
Who you shouting out? Oh.
Shout out to Scott Hamilton.
Presented by your mom and them.
I said it. Was Olympic gold. He won Olympic gold 41 years ago yesterday.
Hey.
Man, he did that event with us like a couple months ago. That is the nicest dude, man.
Great story. Great story. And testimony.
And selfishly, I love that he was sitting there getting text messages from people about being on the show while we were sitting there doing it, which was great. Yeah. So 41 years ago today, just an incredible story all the way around with Scott Hamilton. Again, happy born day to General Nealon. He was born on this day in 1892.
The General.
Chris Lowe joins us now from ESPN.com, senior writer.
Lowe.
Chris, what's up? How are you?
I'm great. It's good to be with you guys. Things are well in Las Vegas.
We've got a lot going on, man. All kinds of like draft season. We've got college baseball first weekend. We've got D1 men's basketball committee reveals its top 16, which we haven't gotten into. But let's start with this. Let's start with Vanderbilt. The Vanderbilt women. They were down 15 to Auburn. They come back. They win 98-88 in overtime. The story, once again, freshman phenom Michaela Blakes. We've had her on the show, too. She scored a freshman NCAA record, 55 points, 23 of 24 from the free throw line, 15 of 28 from the floor, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, single-game SEC record, NCAA Division I freshman record, second 50-point game this season, first NCAA Division I player this century with 55 points and 5 assists in a game. She outscored Auburn 11-4 in overtime. We can keep going on. And what she said after the game in the post-game interview was that she was upset that she missed her last free throw, which made her 23 of 24 from the line. Chris, she's an incredible player that we have right here in Nashville watching.
Yeah, the first thing that needs to happen is they need to bring in all these players from the NBA men's game and let her teach them how to shoot free throws.
Right?
That's the first thing that needs to happen.
When she was at 23 of 23, they said she, going back to the last game, she was like 37 in a row or something. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and it's not like it's the first time she scored 50 points either.
Right.
She did it, back in January, I think she did it against Florida.
Yep, 53 at Florida.
Yeah, you love watching players like that understand the game, understand how to play, understand the importance of getting to the free throw line, and being able to make free throws.
Yep.
Sort of a lost art.
She doesn't really
watch a lot of
force
ball
it
now.
either. Yeah.
I don't care what level you watch, and the three-pointer is such is part of the fabric of the game to the point now where I'm not sure it's good for the game. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to make three-pointers and you shouldn't take three-pointers, but being able to get to the free throw line and draw fouls and attack the basket and do things like she does to get fouled, that's where you gain the biggest advantage. And certainly in close games where your teams are, maybe if you're struggling in front or your teammates are struggling, get the ball to the basket. Be that player that attacks the basket and is strong with the basketball, which she obviously is, and get to the free throw line. So I love watching her game. I really do. It's a bit of a throwback. Not that she can't shoot the perimeter. Obviously she can, but just to watch her be able to manufacture scoring points, which is what it's all about.
What's so interesting to me, CeeLo, is also when you look at it, you almost have to question yourself, is she even the best player on the floor? Because she also is alongside with Camille Pierre, who averages 21 and 9, damn near a double-double, 21 and 10, you might as well say, 9.9 rebounds. But, this is nobody flying under the radar either. She does this because it's needed to be done. This is what they have to do to win. Not like she's just out there chunking up shots.
Right. No, that's obviously part of what they want to happen. That's part of their system. Listen, the women's game, I know I'm beating a dead horse, there's a reason it's gotten so much more popular.
Yep.
And there are a lot of people, not just Caitlin Clark. Of course, Caitlin and Angel Reese were a big part of it. But you go back several years now, and I think it's gotten better and better. not just people say, well, it's more athletic. No, I think it's because of players like Blake's that captivate true basketball fans because they know how to play the game. They play it the way it's supposed to be played. More young girls are watching players like her, players like Caitlin Clark, players like Angel Reese, and they're saying, you know what? That's sort of the standard. And, admittedly, I'm not one that watched a lot of women's basketball. Now, when I came to the Tennessean in the 90s, I covered a lot of women's basketball because that's when Pat had the Lady Vols at their height, and I saw a lot of women's basketball. I got to know the sport a lot better and got to know, the people, the power brokers in the sport. But over the last, 20 years, when I've been mostly college football, I haven't watched as much of it. But I'll tell you what, over the last few years, I've watched a lot more and will continue to do so. And I think there's probably a lot of people like me out there would say the same thing, that they are paying more attention and more in tune with women's basketball than ever before.
Lady Vols move up from 19 to 15 in this week's AP poll. They beat Auburn and Mississippi this week. They host number 18 Alabama on Thursday at 5:30. Spear had 28. She was 5 of 7 from 3. Last 3 games, 13 of 19 from 3, which is 68.4%. It's an amazing job Kim Caldwell has done there.
Yeah, go watch them play. I had a chance to go to the UConn game for ESPN. Wrote a story about that game. Boy, that win's going to look better and better as the Lady Vols continue to build their resume. UConn, Gino and his girls go to Columbia, and they put it on Don Staley. 30.
Yeah.
30. I mean, what do they call that, a Pearl Cone? You beat somebody by 30, Slade.
Oh, that's a slaughterhouse right there. That's what we call it.
Slaughterhouse.
So, that's got that win, I think, will just continue to multiply as far as Tennessee's concerned. But no, go watch them play because, and this is why Danny White hired Kim, is the way they play. They substitute in and out freely, sometimes bringing in 4 or 5 players at a time. They run, they press, they shoot to 3. And someone asked me, well, do you think the best women's basketball players will want to come play where they're not playing necessarily 37 or 38 minutes a game? And I'm like, yeah, you watch them play, the way they play, their style. Who doesn't want to play in that kind of system? And certainly a brand like Tennessee, be a part of that group that brings Tennessee basketball back to where it was under Pat. I think they got a lot of things going for them. And I think those girls, and having a chance to spend some time with them a little bit after that game against UConn, they genuinely like playing for Kim. They really do. And not that she's not hard on them, because she is, but you've got to be able more than ever in today's game, not just basketball, you got to be able to connect with your players, and they got to know that you care and that you're pushing them as hard as you possibly can, so they're going to be better. And talking again to folks in and out around that program, I think that's what they've got in Kim Caldwell. The thing I like the most about her is she's got zero ego, that I can tell. I mean, she's exactly who she is. I don't think it has. Yeah, it's daunting to come into a place like Tennessee that's got so much history and tradition, but I don't think she's been swept up in that at all. She coaches the way she coaches. She believes in her system, and she knows she's got a place and certainly a basketball program that she can recruit to. And you look at what she's done in the recruiting trail at this point, and she's making a lot of inroads.
Chris Lowe with us on 3HL. You had 3 McDonald's All-Americans coming in next year, 5 of the top 50. So that's what's happening. Switching over to the men's side, Chris, Tennessee comes from 16 points down to beat Vanderbilt. Tennessee had lost 17 straight games when trailing by 15 or more. Zakai Sigler 0 for 2 with no points in the first half, finished with 22 and 8 assists with 7 of 9 in the second half. That guy just makes it go.
Well, somebody at halftime, I'm not sure if it was Rick Barnes, but somebody went and said something to Zakai Ziegler that, as they say at Pearl Con, wasn't real happy about. Maybe it pissed him off highly. And I saw you, Slay, what you said in studio, and you were dead on, man. When that guy, when his engine's going 100 miles an hour, that team goes 100 miles an hour. Yeah. And in the second half, I mean, he played like a guy possessed. And I don't care what Vanderbilt did or tried to do. I mean, he's 5'9". He played like he was 6'9" with a handle and the quickness that he has, and he was unstoppable. That's the good news. The bad news is Tennessee's not going to get away with playing a first half like that against a lot of the teams they've got left on their schedule and win. And that's not to diss Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a really good basketball team. Will be in the NCAA tournament. But you go on the road in particular and you play like that in the first half and you get down, lights out. And I'm sure Rick Barnes has told his team that, So Tennessee's got to prove, for all they've done this year, and I still think they're a team, when things are clicking because they're so good on defense, that they have a real chance, just like they did last year, to be a Final Four team. I mean, they ran into Edie, just a horrible matchup for them last year, and they're in the Final Four. But they've got to be able to prove, and this is what it comes down to in the postseason, they could put 3 and 4 really good games together, back to back to back to back. And I think that's what's sort of been hard for them this year at times when they've gotten into the SEC. I still think, though, when Lanier shoots it, when 2 of those 3 shoot it from the perimeter, Lanier, Gainey, and Zai, and those guys are making open jumpers, and Zakai, Tennessee can beat anybody in the country. And but they certainly can't get down like that, 15, 16 points against some of these teams they're going to be playing, especially on the road.
CeeLo, do you think Bruce knew that his Auburn team was going to be as good as they are this year?
I spoke to him before the season, Dawn. I know he thought they were going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And Bruce is a confident guy by nature. But I think he knew what he had. I think he's been very purposeful in the way he's put his teams together the last few years. I know last year was a disappointment, getting knocked out in the first round. But you look at Auburn over the last few years and the way they've worked the portal, the way he's brought in key guys. Yes. And they're this good. I mean, how many quad ones do they have? Win like 8? Or no, excuse me, like 14? 12, something like that?
Yep.
Almost double everybody else. And that's the thing I'm so impressed with Bruce's team there at Auburn is, they got beat at home by Florida. But no matter where they play or when they play or who they play, man, they've got the kind of balance that 1 or 2 players can be a little bit off, but they're good enough around those players that they can still win big games. And Broom's not even healthy. You can watch him play. He's not 100% healthy. But, man, he's playing lights out. And it impacts the game. I was arguing with someone this weekend about who's the best player in the SEC, who's the best player in the country. I know Flag's going to get a lot of votes. But it's hard to argue that there's many players, if any, that affect the game and impact the game in more ways than Broom does for Auburn. And even at less than 100%, you're seeing that.
CeeLo, when you look at the matchup against Auburn and Alabama, like we probably see this again later on to see if they end up tying or whatever it is, how it plays out with Florida being in that mix too. Where are your thoughts with Alabama and Nate Oates and these guys?
Well, Alabama to me they're easily one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country. And when they shoot it from the perimeter, they're as good as anybody. Now, I think, Slade, the biggest difference right now in Auburn and Alabama, one of the biggest differences is Auburn can still win and not shoot great from the perimeter. They didn't shoot great from the perimeter against Tennessee.
Yep.
And gutted it out. One sort of an ugly rock fight kind of game. Can Alabama win those kind of games? Can they get into a game in the tournament, second round, Sweet 16 game, where they're not shooting it great? The other team's physical. They're in their grill. You got to win 61-58. I'm not saying they can't, but Auburn has shown they can do that. I think that's sort of that next step for Alabama. Can they do that? And can they do it multiple times in the postseason? I think that's the biggest difference. I also think Auburn has better balance across the board than Alabama. Auburn's got better balance than anybody in college basketball.
Yes, they do.
And that's why they are what they are right now. And, Bruce is hungry, man. He tasted it. That program tasted it a couple years ago. They got the horrible call. I know, Dawn, you like to remember that no double dribble or walking or what it is. I hate to bring that up, but they tasted it. They were right there. And, sometimes you sort of got to get there, right there on the brink to finish it off. And I can promise you, not that is necessarily going to fuel, because there's all different players, Bruce Pearl and that staff, but I think in the back of their mind, it's certainly something that's there. You don't forget it.
I just got a text from my significant other wanting an update on the IU coaching search for basketball.
That's a funny situation, man.
It's crazy.
They keep playing teams where their opposing coach is rumored, like he had to go shake hands with Mick Cronin. Mick Cronin's on that list. Like, it's really funny situation.
Well, so here's the other thing, CeeLo. IU fans are delusional. And I love you, honey. And they legit think that Bruce Pearl would leave Auburn to go take that head coaching job.
Well, I mean, the first one was Brad Stevens, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was out there. I think John Gruden's name got thrown out there. If I'm not mistaken.
I was just going to say, it's very similar to that Tennessee fan base when Tennessee was in a really bad spot and they legit thought anybody would want to come to Tennessee.
Gruden has now said he was close to taking the job,
Yeah.
and now he's doing a coach's clinic up there. That's really funny.
Yeah, and Slay was an All-America lacrosse player.
I didn't say it was true, but he did say that.
You know, brands like Indiana and Tennessee in football, Alabama in football, UCLA in hoops, North Carolina in hoops, all the fan bases, and I'm not picking on them, but they all think that they're going to be lining up at that door to coach their teams. That's just sort of inherently what happens when you've had years and years and years of success and there's the interest and the resources available at some of these schools. So tell your significant other, I get it. But I think what Indiana needs to do is they need to find somebody, not necessarily somebody that's a name, but somebody that fits there in this world of basketball, that understands the portal, can work that, NIL, that's such a big – look at the SEC. Look at who are the best players right now in the SEC? Kids who come from elsewhere for the most part. Identifying those players, getting them on campus, guys that fit. And I think that's right now in basketball, even more so than football. You get one and certainly two of those guys play, Brent, Don, it makes a massive difference in your team.
Yeah.
And I think that to me is as important as anybody. Identifying and then playing a style and playing in such a manner that you can recruit to that. Because Indiana, listen, you win at Indiana and you play an entertaining style of basketball, certainly winning is the most important.
Yeah.
Indiana basketball is still – I had someone argue with me a few years ago. Remember when Barnes was thinking hard? It was pretty close to taking the UCLA job. That's been, 5, 6 years ago now? Someone asked me, well, why would he go to UCLA? UCLA's dead. I'm like, no, UCLA will never die. And I'm 60 or going on it. I remember John Wooden. I remember some of those great teams. Even after that, some of the UCLA teams, they're not winning championships every other year and the Final Four every year, but those brands never go away. They just don't. USC in football, Texas in football had that long stretch where everybody every year said, well, they're back. Well, no, they're not back. Well, it looks like Sark does have them back now. But those brands never go away, and I think Indiana, even though they have not had success like they have historically over the last 50 years, still is a basketball haven if they get the right person.
There he is. He's Chris Lowe from ESPN.com, at CeeLo ESPN on Twitter. Thank you, Chris. Great visit, man. We'll talk with you next Monday.
All right. See you guys.
Yep.
Thanks, CeeLo.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Lipscomb, two-way tie for first now in the A-Sun with North Alabama. Remember a couple weeks ago they were in a four-way tie. Now it's a two-way tie with 4 games left to play. Bison defeated Florida Gulf Coast Saturday 82-68. They've won 5 in a row. They play at Eastern Kentucky tomorrow night. They host North Alabama Thursday for potentially the A-Sun title. That is who they are tied for first with. Belmont won 73-68 at Indiana State Saturday. I watched that one. The Bruins have won 3 out of 4. Lundblade 6 of 8 from 3, 19 points. Belmont in 4th in the Missouri Valley Conference, 3 games behind Drake. The Bruins host North Iowa, where they will retire Ian Clark's jersey at halftime. Coming up on Wednesday at 6:30, and Indiana State they host on Saturday at 5. MTSU won the 100 Miles of Hate at Western Kentucky, 87-77.
There you go, MT.
On Saturday. Blue Raiders have won 3 out of 4. They are in 3rd in Conference USA, just 1.5 games behind Jacksonville State. MTSU hosts Louisiana Tech Thursday, 8 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. And then they host Sam Houston State, who is awful, on Saturday at 2. TSU lost Saturday.
I like that little drop in.
There. I mean, they're 3-10 in the conference. TSU lost Saturday at SIUE 84-72. But in the last 9 games, TSU is 7-2. They play at UT Martin tomorrow night. This is a string of 4 road games in a row. There's your college basketball fix. When we come back, Josh and Reese and Laura, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Okay, the winners just keep on coming with Zen Sports and their VIP Players Club sweepstakes. You got to get in on this newest sports betting sportsbook right here in Tennessee. Zen Sports gives you a chance to reserve VIP tables at Dirk's Bentley's Whiskey Row every other Saturday. It started last Saturday. And it's very cool. Their February VIP Players Courtside Club sweepstakes in full force. And remember to go ahead and sign up as a new user with my code DAWNTN, DAWNTN, and you'll get 500 bonus entries using my code. So what does that mean? Yes, that means this is the contest. A grand prize winner wins 2 VIP tickets to the Men's Basketball Conference Championship game here in town and a $10,000 bonus bet on any tourney game or $10,000 cash alternative. You earn an entry on every bet you place, every dollar you wager, and then 10 times the entries on your parlay bets. And if you're not the grand prize winner, they've got a bunch of other prizes to give away too. Don't forget, DAWNTN is your code. Zen Sports, go sign up. Betting just got better. You have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 and older, located in Tennessee. $5 minimum wager to qualify for entry into that sweepstakes. Terms and conditions apply. Full rules at zensports.com/sweepstakes. A qualifying wager for a wager entry must have minimum odds for any leg of the entry of at least minus 250 or worse American odds. For clarity, a wager at minus 251 odds obviously does not qualify.
What's happening, good people? KellamStemCellInstitute.com is where you need to head to get holistic stem cell therapy. Many patients have experienced remarkable results and have their own testimonies. I have mine. The pain in my knee was happening. Yes, inflammation in my hip was also going on. Shoulder, the exact same thing. But there is a way to you getting better. It's your body, your cells, your solution. All you got to do is go set up your consultation at 615-850-4415. That is talking to Dr. Kellum directly when you set it up. You're talking to him and asking him all the questions that you may have. You're wondering just exactly what the inflammation out of your body would mean for your body. Well, it's your cure. You know why? Because it's your stem cells. That's right. They're also stored for future and continued use, and they're harvested and redeployed based on your needs. So whatever it is, whatever spot is hurting at, back, ankle, whatever it is, I promise you it's going to help. 615-850-4415. That's the number. Get over there. KellamStemCellInstitute.com. .com.
3HL 1045, The Zone, Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, cruising through the Happy President's Day show. Presidents get a holiday.
Yep. The ones alive and the past.
Can I show you guys a new button I have on my board?
My favorite president is William Taft because he got stuck in the White House bathtub.
What was he doing?
They couldn't get him out. He was large and in charge, and he got stuck in the bathtub.
Oh, wow. Couldn't even slide out.
Couldn't slide out. I think the suction was too much.
Wow.
That's my favorite president.
Mayor and his random stuff.
Politics aside.
All right, Zeph, what's your new button?
I don't even know if the guy was a Republican or a Democrat. I have no idea, so don't hit me with that. I just know he got stuck in the bathtub.
All right, this is the
things you learn.
This is a new button
On President's
I just added to the board like 5 seconds ago. Are you ready?
Give it to us, Zeph.
We're going to get a call on that one.
Most definitely are.
No, it's bleeped out. There's nothing on it.
Play it again. I want to hear it again.
Will you turn that down over there?
Y'all know what she was talking about? She clearly, obviously you don't because it happened during a break.
Right.
But my headphones were sitting on the console, and so you could hear the show through my headphones. And Babs was trying to record a live spot, and she didn't have her headphones on because it's distracting when you're trying to record a live when you hear things coming through your headphones. Although she could turn them down, I don't know. But anyway, so she said this to me out of nowhere.
Will you turn that down over there? I sound so country.
Yeah, you did right there. That's the first thing I thought of right there.
Do you know what is really
That's
funny?
incredible.
Baby Babs today, because they don't have school today, right?
Yeah.
Baby Babs, I said, Mom's going to work. Are you doing football? No. I'm going to do my radio show. Okay. Well, Mommy, don't yell at Uncle Slay and Mr. Brent on the radio today.
Yes.
And I was like, what?
Yes, baby Babs.
Like, does she listen
That's
to
what
the
I'm
show
talking about.
enough or
Yes.
whatever? And what did I do today?
There you go.
While I appreciate
I yelled at Mr. Brent.
While I appreciate Baby Babs' sentiment, it's funnier when you do yell at us.
No, I'm with Baby Babs. No, I'm standing with Baby Babs on this.
You know what
Mommy,
Baby
don't.
Babs told you today before you came to work?
Yep. Will you turn that down over there?
That's what she told you.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh,
That's what I'm
I'm
talking
sure
about.
Mr. Babs is so proud right
I
now.
love it. I love it.
Man, you could have chopped up some stuff from her from last week all week long, man. She had the JoJo Siwa thing.
Ready.
I've been on one lately.
You've been rolling.
That JoJo Siwa thing was hilarious.
I mean, I was just stating facts, y'all.
It's just so blunt.
Why we were even talking about JoJo Siwa wasn't
What
really-
brought that up?
Someone called in to the
hotline.
guest hotline.
Did we ever figure out who the JoJo was?
JoJo called the hotline, so I thought it was Casey and JoJo, and then we went to JoJo Siwa. And
Then
Babs
we
said-
went to JoJo from The Bachelorette or Bachelor.
And so Slay was like, JoJo Siwa. And I was like, yeah, Disney person. And then me and Zev at the same time said, she's turned away from that Disney thing.
That's done.
Yeah,
Babs
she's
says-
a lesbian now.
That's what she said.
There we go.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what Babs said.
Josh in Clarksville. Josh, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good, Josh.
I was wondering, Jameis Winston, sign him for 2 years,
All
and
in.
then
All in. I'm with you, John.
Okay,
I mean, Josh, sorry.
but
All in.
not for what he does on the field, though.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I mean, it's worth it.
Guy.
Josh,
It's worth it. The entertainment
do
value.
you want to see more picks than you've ever seen your team throw in your life?
Not.
Like, you got a point there.
It's worth the entertainment value. I'm telling you. There is not a play that will happen that you have any idea what's about to take place.
No, but it's more of a locker room guy, and then
Yeah.
also Arch Manning next year.
Okay.
Like, just trade down, go to next year, get Arch Manning or LSU quarterback, Musburger. Oh my God.
Musburger.
Brent Musburger's not throwing football.
It's not Musburger. It's not Mettenberger.
Yeah. Josh, hey, man, I'm with you on the Jameis Winston thing. I'm
Y'all
all
are
in.
crazy.
Listen, I want them to sign Jameis Winston just to have him sit in studio like Will Levis did last offseason for an hour. Can you
I'd
imagine?
be all
Can
about
you
that.
imagine Jameis Winston in the boom boom room, Slay Dog?
No, he would. That thing would blow up.
Yeah, that would be something. That's what I would say.
He might take over the
No, he
boo-boo
definitely would. He'd start asking me questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because
I
he
do
would
love
say
that guy.
he would say such weird things, like you would be trying to figure out what he just said, and then like you would pause, and then he would ask you a question.
Yeah.
That's exactly what would happen.
He would definitely.
He is a national treasure.
National treasure.
But he can't play quarterback.
As are Reese and Laura, and I don't think they can play quarterback either, but I'm just assuming. Reese and Laura, what's up?
Now, Mayor, I don't know. I'm in pretty good shape for my age. I could play some flag football quarterback.
Before or after beers?
Yeah.
It don't matter in flag football. You can have as many beers as you want.
How many are we on today?
I've kept it timid. I didn't get off till noon. It's like 13. Hey, but Babs, I'm proud of you. Y'all beat Alabama. Thank you for that.
You're
I know
welcome.
we ended our last call. You were a little angry, but I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
And Laura just ran up inside. We waited on hold for an hour and 20 minutes, and I was happy about it. And then she just ran up inside, something about the cat. So, but hey, y'all mentioned Brent Musburger, right?
Okay.
I mean, we didn't, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I got a story on that. So I snuck up as a teenager. I left. I was born in Indianapolis, and I would sneak out of town every time I could. So I went all the way up to Milwaukee and watched Louisville play Marquette. And Dick Vitale and Brent Musburger were the announcers, and they both signed my shirt. And when I went back to high school there, everybody thought I lied. But now, big play.
I'm with you.
Big win for us there. But the most important part is, do you know what I want to do tomorrow?
What?
I want to announce your court date.
You want to do play-by-play of Chunky Junky's court date?
Yes, Mayor. I want to do.
Well, I'd pay.
Chunky Monkey.
Listen, man.
Taking the
I might
stand.
pay for that.
I buy movies on Xfinity for $19.99. I would definitely pay more for that.
Yes. Chunky Junky Monkey is going to the stand. She has nothing to stand on. Big Slay. Oh, Big Slay's getting angry. Big Slay's mad. Big Slay wants his pistol back. Chunky's confused. Chunky doesn't know what to do. Oh, man.
You would have a field day with that.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I don't know what to do with us not having a weekday game. But, hey, Big Slay, we played at noon, as you know, last game. So I don't ever get off till noon. So I got out there, and we were down 6-0. So I have no idea the original line, and I didn't make any bets. And then I was listening to it, and we were out rebounded at halftime, 21-10, and the points in the paint were bad. And every stat that they said was flip-flopped to what it should have been.
Yep.
And I was like, well, there's no way Vanderbilt can hold this up. We were down 13. We were underdogs by 3.5. And I was like, every stat is flip-flopped. So I put 100 on them. And then, bam, I didn't know if we were going to come back and win, but I knew we'd make it a one-possession game. And then we came back and just took it to them and won. And I knew Rick Barnes had to light a fire under him because we couldn't lose after losing to Kentucky, and we couldn't lose to Vanderbilt twice after losing to Kentucky twice. And I don't think we're going to lose again the rest of the season. What do you think, Big Slay?
Wow. I think that's different.
Drunk.
I think everybody in the SEC going to lose.
I
one more
just said
time.
13, Babs. I didn't say 22.
My man said
I
hold 13.
complimented your Auburn team, Babs. We got to be friends here.
All right.
Rocky Top. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm sorry I missed Friday. I had to take Laura out for arcades and dinner. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee.
There he is, Reese, from Reese and
Appreciate
Laura.
it, Reese.
Mondays and
Ice cream
Fridays
Reese.
on 3HL.
Got to be ready.
Right there, that's a hell of a way to end it.
He did give you props about your Auburn team, though.
Yeah, because he was a jerk last time he was on about Auburn.
Well, he hates Alabama.
Yeah, so that's fair.
Yeah.
Some stuff is inevitable.
There you go.
Inevitable.
We'll be back at it tomorrow. You going to check in and give us a little update?
I will.
As to what happened?
I sure will.
In the courtroom?
Absolutely.
Keep your cool.
Oh, yeah.
Don't end up in the slammer.
Ah.
Use that ET finger.
Yes, and point.
That Savage brought up.
Can't wait.
Man, we appreciate you guys including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take it lightly. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be unless you were getting a shout out to the one and only 55-point scorer, Michaela Blake's dog.